Amber Heard in an Instagram post calling the decision to settle her defamation suit against ex-husband Johnny Depp very difficult. Part of that deal, Heard is allegedly supposed to pay her ex $1 million to settle all financial claims, according to the Depp camp, which says they'll donate that money to charity. This comes months after a televised trial, after which jurors found the two had defamed each other. She by writing an op-ed in the Washington Post in which she described being a victim of domestic violence, but not mentioning Depp by name, and he via a statement in which Heard was accused of perpetrating a hoax.
Fox's Lillian Wu. Heard was awarded $2 million in damages after that trial. Depp awarded more than $10 million. An hour to the close on Wall Street, a deepening sell-off. The Dow's now down 314. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Take your business to new heights with the United Business Credit Card. Earn 30,000 bonus miles after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Plus, earn 3 times the miles per $1 spent on United tickets through United until April 30th, 2023, and 2 times the miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com United Business for more information and to apply for your United Business Credit Card today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Chef Taka serves up his take on traditional Japanese dishes. Taka also features a sushi bar using only the freshest seafood. Nigiri, sushi rolls, and sashimi made to order straight to your table. Lunch specials available served with rice, salad, and soup with savory dishes like tonteki pork chop, which is an island favorite. Dinners is izakaya style, so you may enjoy a variety of items. Come on down today to Taka Restaurant to experience traditional Japanese cuisine served up by Chef Taka. Located in Tabuning next to First Hawaiian Bank, call 671-969-8252 today. That's 969-TAKA.
Half a day and good morning, Guam at 6:06 on Tuesday, December 20. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A man was taken to GRMC and is currently on life support following an early morning auto pedestrian crash yesterday that temporarily closed southbound traffic starting at Route 1 and Wistig Road in Dedido. GPD spokesperson Officer Berlin Savella says the status of the man is unresponsive and unconscious. The man has yet to be identified, but the investigation will continue with Guam Highway Patrol officers conducting follow-ups, interviews, and collecting evidence. Officer Morgan Regis from the Highway Patrol Division says Guam averaged 3 traffic-related fatalities in the month of December between 2018 and 2021. Regis urges motorists to wear a seatbelt, drive within the speed limit, and put children in proper seats, adding that drivers should not be distracted by cell phones while on the roadways and to mind crosswalks, pedestrians, and cyclists. With the holiday season in full swing, GPD highly recommends designating a responsible driver to avoid driving while impaired. Meanwhile, one of the 9 nationals accused of illegally arriving on Guam by boat is set to plead guilty to charges against him next month. Fu Junjai appeared in Superior Court yesterday for a status hearing related to landing without acquiring clearance requirements on June 29. Jai's attorney, Edward Hahn, told Judge Vern Perez he believed the case has been resolved and is just awaiting documentation. Assistant AG Sean Brown confirmed that a plea agreement was in place and others facing similar charges were also sent consistent plea agreements. A number of boats arrived on Guam from Saipan and offloaded several Chinese nationals, some of whom claimed they came to Guam for work but said they did not know anyone on island and made their way to hotels. Another hearing for Jai has been scheduled for January 23 when he is expected to plead guilty to the charges. Another Chinese boater, Ji Kong Huang, will appear in court today. We'll have more news after this.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
The Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center and Revan Tax conducted annual island-wide tobacco retailer compliance inspections, and Guam's compliance rate has increased to 97% in 2022. A release states that last year, Guam's compliance rate was at 88.1%. The tobacco laws ensure island-wide efforts for youth nicotine use prevention, such as controlling retail access for anyone under the age of 21. This year, 321 tobacco retailers registered with Revan Tax were inspected, and only 8 were found with in violation of selling tobacco products to minors. These establishments were issued citations and fines ranging from $1,000 to $5,000 per violation. Behavioral Health Director Teresa Arreola says they hope to continue improving compliance rates and protect Guam's youth from the damaging effects of tobacco and nicotine products. Meanwhile, outgoing Guam Education Board Chair Mark Mendiola has served on the board for 6 years and is now ready to pass the baton. Mendiola says he decided not to run in this past election to focus his priorities to helping his eldest son transition to lifelong learning by opening a business together. With 2 terms as chairman under his belt, Mendiola is not able to run for the chairman seat for another 2 years. With Mendiola at the helm, the board was able to make significant progress in the last couple of years. GDOE has been under a high-risk status and third-party fiduciary for years. Turning the tide was one of the accomplishments of the board. With a seasoned board, Mendiola is confident momentum will be maintained. He says he may consider running again, but for now remains active in supporting his children's programs at the schools. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now, here's Ray with your weather.
I'm sorry.
What's so funny?
I follow Real Joe on Facebook.
And then?
No, you don't.
Yeah. No, I'm following you. I follow you. I stalk you. And I want to see what you and James, what shenanigans you and James Howard are up to, so I can be prepared in the morning. It says, imagine. And you reposted this on. It's one of those things. It sounds like a Biden quote. Imagine your decline store when cards stop being and when are crying face.
What?
That's what I said. Here,
I'm just
take a
trying to
look at
cause
the
a
thing.
stroke, man.
It's okay. I almost got one here this morning. All right. Okay. So there we are. That actually happened. That actually happened to me the other day. And what? Imagine you are declined store when cards stop being. My card stopped being the other day.
Stop being
My card
at
stopped
Decline
being.
Store?
At the Decline Store, yes. I'd gone into, I was buying something for Mana, because it's Christmas, right? I was Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Air quotes,
What
air quotes.
store were you at?
What's that Top Shop? The one that used to be American Music?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I like
that's
going in there.
special
Lots of cool
store.
stuff in there. But I'm not going to, I can say no more, lest Mana be able to decide to figure out what it is that I bought her. But anyway, so I'm in there, and I picked up a couple of things. Obviously, one thing for Mana and another thing for me, because it's that kind of a gadget store. And so I whipped out my card, and I wasn't even thinking of it. I just kind of gave them the wrong one. And as it turns out, they don't take the Home Depot card. It's too close to the top of the stack of cards for this, so I'm going, wait, I meant to give you a different one. And the girl kind of looked at me. Remember, I was at Home Depot, and the lady gave me that look, right? And so the lady over at Top Shop, the little girl, gave me exactly that same look, like, how did you even get here? Did somebody drive you? Is somebody helping you with your daily life?
Where's your handler?
So anyway, yeah, the card decline stopped being they. Isolated showers are in today's forecast. Let me get to the stuff that I do understand. Mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs near 87 degrees. East winds 14 to 18 miles an hour. Gusting as high as 24 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy tonight, and winds as high as about 22 miles an hour. Same thing tomorrow, except partly sunny skies. A little bit more by way of clouds up there. Daytime highs tomorrow should be about the same, 87 degrees. Where the heat index every day is going to feel like 92. Scattered showers are in the forecast over the next couple of days, so be prepped for those kinds of things. It's just kind of the weird ones where you're sitting, and by the time you realize, hey, is that rain I hear outside? By the time you realize that you're hearing rain, it stops. That's that weird kind of weather phase that we're in right now. Still rip current warnings on the ocean. Sunrise this morning, not until 6:38, and I feel bad for beautiful Sarita. Because she got up early to take a picture of the sun, and there's still no sun out there. A little bit of gray line coming up over the horizon, but maybe in a couple of minutes here. 6:13 for sunrise at 6:38. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:58. Real Joe, you mentioned the solstice yesterday. Are we getting close to that?
We are. We're right there, Ray. We're at the precipice.
The precipice?
Yeah, the pinnacle.
Right of the thing. Coming down
On
this
the edge
way.
of Uranus.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see just how into it you were and if you were actually going to try to figure out when it's going to be. Because, you brought it up, and I thought this was going to be a major opportunity for Joe contributing to the morning show here. At any rate, so he'll work through that 6:14 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. News and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for 68 years.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuini. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut home water softener system for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas Loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Man, do I want to send you to Wendy's for breakfast or maybe just a treat for the entire day? All right, we're going to do the treat thing here. It's swing by Wendy's. Wendy's wants you to try the new vanilla peppermint frosty, classic vanilla frosty, except they mix in peppermint syrup. Then they top it with crushed candy cane pieces. For a limited time, only our frosty is all dressed up for the holidays and bringing cool peppermint flavors to your Christmas party, because warm and cozy, overrated. When it's time for dessert, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new vanilla peppermint frosty. Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL. American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
It's 6:16. And before we do anything else here in the program, I don't often do this, but, because I figure everybody's got to make it their way through their own struggles, their own challenges. But I want you to feel, especially if you're a Wordle person and haven't gotten to your Wordle, maybe you're a Wordle person you used to be, and you just couldn't do it anymore. You got tired of hitting those 4s and never getting enough 2s. And I want to give you an opportunity to get a 2 today. 3, if you need to.
Wow, a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift. I'm not going to give you the answer, but I think I'm going to give you an incredible hint. Okay. And you might be going, okay, this better be good here, because you're wasting valuable morning broadcast time for just Wordle people. All right. So here's your hint. Today's Wordle rhymes with turd. That's all I'm going to tell you. There's only 4 letters in that, so it's not a good start word. Maybe if you put a Y at the end of it. I'm just saying. But it rhymes. Well, then it wouldn't rhyme with turd. But anyway, so there it is. See, now you already know the answer, don't you? How many words rhyme with turd? You get me thinking about that all morning. Ask the kids. The kids will be able to do it. And we're old now. Rhyming was a nursery school thing. But now we're old and we don't spend a lot of, unless you're a rapper, unless you sing songs or write songs or whatever. But that's the as close as I can get to destroying the whole concept of Wordle for you. It rhymes with turd. All right, so there we go. Hey, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled as usual to be here with you. It's Tuesday, right? Tuesday.
It's Tuesday all day.
The last Tuesday before Christmas of 2020. What 22? Right?
I hope
this is the
so,
school year
man.
2022. Anyway, so hope everybody's doing all right. I don't know what time Home Depot opens. I don't know what time. I think the mall opens at 10 this morning for shoppers, and we'll go fairly late. Yeah, I think they've got. Renee's listening. He'll give me the splains, but I know that they put out out a calendar and are opening earlier these days to accommodate shoppers, or in the very least, browsers.
Oh, yeah.
You see a lot of people going, it's hot outside. Where do you want to go? Mall. What do you want to do there?
And the mall rats.
Just kind of walk around.
Because it's Christmas break.
Christmas break, that's right. A little bit later on, we'll find out more about Christmas break, like when it's going to be ending, different ways that you can keep the power bills down. And there's apparently another Christmas present from Santa Lou and 15 elves. Did you see this yesterday?
What did we get? The drop in the tax again, or
the fuel taxes? They're going to be extending that again by another 5 months or whatever it's going to take.
I prefer a check, like you said. Ray.
Personally, personally, you know what? Give me the money directly and let me sort out how I want to. I want to make it the programming Ray. That's what I want to refer to it as. So we got $500 in credits coming in to help us pay the electric bills these days, and then an opportunity to continue to drive lower priced fuels. I mean, to the best degree that we can control those kinds of things, giving the gas companies a break on their taxes and fees so that they can give us a break on the taxes and fees. And for the most part, it seems to be working. $4.70 for a gallon of gas right now. What did I say it was yesterday on the base? 3-something? It's like ridiculous. I forget what the number is. Colin sent it to me yesterday. But anyway, so you got that. So I know that there's a bunch of you that are just going to blindly go, oh, thank you very much, Santa Lou and the 15 elves at the legislature. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, again, a reminder for the 1,000th time, this is your money. This is your money. You overpaid taxes. There was a change in prices because of pandemic and supply chain issues, and the cost of everything went through the roof. Government of Guam continued to charge 5% business privilege tax, and you paid extra for all of that while receiving absolutely no added value from the government of Guam. So this is the part they're not going to refer to it as a rebate, but in my mind, that's exactly what it is. It's money that you overpaid the government now that is coming back to you in form of a credit for your power bills and cheaper gasoline. And there we go. So what day is today? It is wow. Okay. Okay, Renee, he sent me the holiday hours to the degree that they make sense to me. Yes, the store opens from 10 until 9 until the 23rd.
Not 2 a.m.?
No. Well, I know what you're thinking about. That goes back to Sterling department store days where we open up until the middle of the night. Wake up at 5, open the doors there at 6. All right, on Christmas Eve, they will open at 8 o'clock on Saturday and go until 8 o'clock at night, closed on Christmas Day. So we'll get in there on Christmas Eve and sort out who it is that you still have to buy for. They are going to have some special New Year's hours as well. New Year's Eve, they will open at 10, go to 7. And New Year's Day, they will likewise be open from 10 until 9. For those of you that have got to go back to doing your Three Kings shopping, back to regular mall hours starting on January the 2nd. So there it is. Mall opens at 10 o'clock this morning, goes until 9 o'clock tonight, until it gets to be, do I have any different numbers? No. Okay. So there we go. Christmas Eve, again, 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. for mall shoppers. And that is the big news here this morning. 622-888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number around these parts. That's how you get a hold of me. Well, you get a hold of Real Joe. And if he likes the sound of your voice, if he thinks you got a pretty mouth, then he might let you talk to me right here on the radio. Your thoughts, your ideas, your ruminations and observations about life on Guam these days. It'll be all right. I got to do a shout and say thanks, everybody, to that caught the story that I posted up on Facebook yesterday and Instagram. I had a great time, and you'll forgive me if I wasn't a little bit starstruck. You know, when you meet up with somebody with the kind of resolve and intensity that somebody like OG Alex Castro has, you're bound to be a little bit smitten in the conversation. I absolutely was. Posted the imagery yesterday on the stories on Meta, and It might be among the highest views I've ever had. Over 700 already, and it's not even 6:30 in the morning. Over 700 posts, lots of Valentine's likes. Thanks very much. Lots of right-click opportunities, if you will. But when I look at it, I try to scroll through and see if there's any interesting names. And I happened upon one yesterday as I was cruising through the thing. I said, "There's the story. Joel Crisostomo, Wesley, and Ramona White Longa. I remember her. Ray Acierto. And then there's Evan Montville Cohen."
Well, that name sounds familiar.
It sure does.
A little bit.
It sure does. I'm just going, hey,
synonymous with trust, Ray.
They let you have a phone there?
Yeah.
They let you have the social media
the
where
Wi-Fi's
you're at?
great inside, Ray.
Well, you know.
We know the password.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Maybe somebody's using his phone. Maybe somebody's using his account. There's so many people. Even Jim Brooks, my buddy Brooksy, right, sent out a note yesterday on Facebook. He says, if you get a friend request from me, it's bogus. It's fake. I had the same thing last weekend. A friend of mine, and I'm looking at it going, wait a second. I'm almost positive we're already friends. And then I said, but just in case, so I refriended. I accepted the friend request, and then within seconds, it's amazing how these hacker guys do this. Within seconds, all of a sudden, I get this note that says, "Hey, how are you? How are you?" And I'm going, okay, this is not a tomorrow person. But tomorrows don't say, "How are you?" Well, half a day. What's up? So, or as my kids will do, just sup. Just S-U-P question mark. Maybe if they're feeling like, they want to be extra, they put a question mark at the end of it. That's generally how it works. And then there was something about, have you heard about this, whatever magical process that's going to give me more money than Lou or whatever it's supposed to be. So I just kind of, I unfriended, blocked, and then reported it to the gods over at Meta to see what was going to, do I get a reward? That would.
Don't add anybody anymore, man. Unless you look at their face.
I almost can't. I almost can't add anymore.
You're too full.
Yeah, I'm getting 5,000 is the limit for regular guy accounts, right? I don't have a celebrity account. I should, because I am the Ray Gibson, but it seems to me that, it just feels a little bit more personal for people to know that the guy that they're dealing with is just a regular guy from the village with an interesting job. And, I'll be your friend on Facebook for as much as I possibly can. But every once in a while, and I don't know, there were a whole bunch of people that unfriended me during the election. I guess they didn't like what I was saying about the administration.
Yeah.
So
you were aggressive, Ray.
If you're listening and you're going, hey, I'd like to be Ray Gibson's friend. I'd like to be able to contribute to his timeline and show him my stories. By all means, go ahead and send me the friend request, and I'll be happy to take a look. And if I have room and you don't look insane, then there's a very good chance that I might add you. Actually, if you look insane, it's probably an even better chance that I'm going to, put you into the group here, my 5,000 fold. Anyway, 6:26 in the morning. Speaking of friends, I already got.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
6:26. Taking a look. I'm going to do the YouTube side first because I don't want those guys to feel like I ignored them. Even though I didn't look at it almost all day yesterday. Sorry, guys. I was busy with the guy.
Sorry, Big Daddy.
The punch you in the face guy.
Yeah.
But I do got to say thanks very much. Live stream Japan. I appreciate you and your concern. Over the last couple of days, very, very concerned about the state of my hairline. He's like, good Lord, Ray, by this time next year, you're going to be bald. Talk to your doctor about vitamin D, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, I've got vitamin. I got plenty of. I got D on.
He's got.
I don't always. I got to remember to take it. Is the thing. There's these little tiny forgettable pills, right?
And they're almost see through.
Yeah, the kind of gel pills or something like that. And they've got vitamin D and something like a kale additive. I forget what it is that Macros got me turned on to. So I take that. When I remember an occasional, about once a week, an iron pill, my vitamins, my Ultraman vitamins, and fish oil. Those are, but by the time I get around to it, it's like a big handful of pills, and it's cumbersome, and I'm lazy, and you know how it is. But if it's really concerning to you, I'll work on that. Or if you like, if you're really, really concerned about it, you can take some of those dollars that you're turning into yen out in Japan, send those to me in my PayPal account. I'll give it to you, and then we'll figure out how many hair plugs that I can get for that kind. Have you ever talked to guys that have gotten hair plugs?
No, man. I don't know why
You know
why you would do it.
Because they're so good now, you can't tell they've had
really?
work done. Yeah.
No, thank you.
You sure?
I let it go a long time ago. Ray.
Whatever. Oh, yeah, it's okay. But anyway,
It's gone.
live stream Japan talking about the weather out there. Dollar will get you 134 yen at your DOD installation, minus 2 degrees Celsius. What's that? Brandon John Diego says, you're always awesome. You make sense. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. You know, I don't try to. It was just a happy
wasn't
accident
sarcasm,
of the
Ray.
program. It might have. You know what? It could have been sarcasm. It absolutely could have. Try to listen faster. MPO goes there. Lupang Guam online. Raw 671 Honey saying good morning to Ray Double D and RJC. A live stream Japan says message retracted. All right. So normally the way that works is you're supposed to message retract and then leave, and then everybody says, "Well, who pissed off Stream Japan? What's the matter with him?" But let me get to these guys. Let me just start playing around on the Facebook side and see who's there. At number 1, my bro Bandit Edward Buendito. Brendan Fausto, Donna D watching. There's Ismail Velez with 2 thumbs up. Beautiful Sarita Garin. Nate Horn saying good morning to everybody. JB Sinicolas, Nick Perlowski, Brad Wood. We got Tony and Annette and Pinko Ada are there. And so is big man Rico Blancaflor, who is also on the YouTube side. Must have had a little bit of an issue this morning getting in because he's asking on YouTube, is Facebook down? But
oh, no.
Yet I see you here on Facebook. What could it be? Now, the incredible Dale Audette is there. Charles Craw, Ron Castro, our favorite dude artist. Post Canteen saying good morning. And I'll remind you that they did not get a winner last week in their Queen of Hearts drawing. So what is it, $3,600 I said it was yesterday? Almost $4,000. You're going to need that money to pay off the credit cards at the end of the holiday season, so I'd start working on winning that today. Keena McCausland saying good morning to everybody. Jennifer Post-Schnitger, over 115 former FBI, CIA, NSA agents work at Facebook. What could they possibly be doing there? How come they got so many of those people, right, with the 3-letter alphabets? How they got so many of those people, and Jim Brooks is still getting hacked. His account is still getting hacked on Facebook. You would think that would be among the things that they did. I got, let me see, Rico B. Sarita, Dennis Larson, B-Man on this side, too. Kennedy Robinson, good morning to the amazing hot sister of the program. That's Pam Duvall. Henry Manglotnia, Rudy Rodolfo, the original Burger King. Margot Valine said, hi, everybody. Well, it's good to have you online there, Margot. Let me see, Franklin Menno. Oh, wait.
Bunker.
I'm sorry. I just realized that Margot, that's a right click.
Okay.
Could
right
you?
away.
Appreciate
Yes.
that. And Margot, if you're listening and you're new to the program, the way it works here is when I say right click, what I mean is it's generally an attractive female that we haven't seen before, and then Real Joe will right click on your profile, and we'll do some serious stalking. So welcome to the program, and I'll apologize in advance for anything that Joe sends you in your direct messages. MJ Borjas there. I got the Junka Moffness, and Bunker's hanging out with us this morning. Jerome McDonald. Good morning, Miss Lovely Donna D. That's Jerome trying to get in trouble again.
Now.
And we'll let him. And we'll let you go right ahead. Alan Baldwin is checking us the program out. Manny and Ning Rages. Tattoo Shauna Fujikawa Sticko's hanging out with us. I got to say her full name every once in a while because she'll be running into people like her husband's friends and go, you know, I hear this guy on the radio referring to Tattoo Shauna. Is that you by any chance? And then she adjusts her crown and goes, well, yes, it is. I am the Tattoo Shauna online. Greg Fausto, Dave Duenas, Heather Perez. There's Renee Lau. Thanks for the info on the 411 on the MALL. Look at those present, but still no batteries for the lights. Now I know what to wrap up. Sorry, I've been busy. Auntie Bennett's there. Mike, Grace, Blas. Who else? Just got to cruise through the names. Juanita Machi, Brennan Fausto, big man there online. Good to have Colin Clark saying, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Getting there, aren't we? Jose Tetpago Jr. What's that, Jerome? I'm not what's going on. I am not what's going on. But California gas prices are dropping, and they could fall even lower.
I am not what's going on either.
Sometimes when your card decline in the stop being, yeah. Hello, everything. How are you to be? Only 25 mile an hour back roads. Can you say under the influence? Oh, talking about the accident. Dennis Larson, I had a stroke this morning. Felt so good I had another one. Okay, all right. Okay, this is what happens when you don't pre-read the messages. I'm just going on the fly here. Cheryl Uchai checking out the program. Dennis Larson, a stroke of genius. No, he's talking about something else. Sorry. Saki stole RJC is now banana farmer. And Pam says, Saki stole that tree from my ranch. Mark Anthony, what's that? Congressman James Comer and Jim Jordan have released a list of 12 names of doctors who have worked on gain-of-function research and moved money around between the organizations under the COVID Keebler-Elf guidance. Things to come. Is that the Twitter drop number 7? Is that what we're going to see next weekend? Who else is playing around? I got Pam, Rico, Ken Augustine, John Marich. Good morning to Peter Lozano and Nick Perlosky. Always got to be right. What was I saying? Today's Wordle rhymes with turd. Actually, Nick Perlosky says he could have used curd. It rhymes with curd as well. Yeah, but curd is not as fun a word to say on the radio as turd. There's,
we're all about the fun here.
Yeah, and turd is a little bit more edgy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Curd feels like, I don't know. It's like my weird uncle would have used that. Oh, wait a second. I think you are my weird uncle. Dave Herrera, it's already Tuesday. Let's get it done. RGT. Ask Scott K. Armstrong. Ismail says it's 329 on base. So does Ismail. So okay, we've got consistency here. Dennis Larson, big turd. LG, gotcha. Rico Francis Duffy is there. Bistro Rusinova Mendiola. Hola, amigos. 9:20 p.m. here in Madrid, but I had to tune in to Ray, TJ, and have some cool TJ and I have some cool magnets for you when we come home.
Oh,
guys,
wow.
whirlwind
You're
vacation.
So lucky.
I've been, it's not everybody, shares the same passion and interest. But TJ and Bistro have got to think. So they're actually visiting all of the great prisons in old Europe.
Wow.
Yeah. They're just kind of going around and checking out torture chambers, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Vince Borja's online. So is Vici D. Monri. Hello, everybody. Nice to be here again. Watching from Doha. Melanie Ogo and, let me see, Margaret Estacchio, Alex Applegate, Jeff Pleadwell from Pirates Cove online.
Arr.
So I don't know how much of this I can tell, but we are going to be Christmasing at Pirates Cove.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay out of the water, Ray.
And so my daughter's like, wait a second, what? And I said, yeah, because nobody, as it turns out, there's not one of us that wants to lift a finger in the kitchen or the dining room or the living room. We just want to get together, have somebody else, just load us up with food. Yeah, and drinks, and then, throw away the trash when it's all done and roll us to our cars. That's what we're looking forward to. So you might get with Jeff and the guys over at Pirates Cove and see if they can do the same thing for you. Odelia Marie Titano. I got Dave Duenas, Colin Clark, Troy Torres. Cousin Troy's online.
Morning, Cello.
What do we got here? Ruel, the Rooster Drillon. Lonnie Solis is there. Margaret Estacchio. The Christine Oliver is checking in this morning. Good to see you there, sweetheart. Dave Lazard is there. Let me see. Tim Lujan, not that one, the other. Bob and Connie Bartonico are online. Joey Kichitu is there. So is Marie Babauta Baldwin. We say buenas and off a day to Patrick and Martha Toves. EOD Kaboom is online. What did we say about EOD guys?
Hot guys.
And with their hot wives. Okay, gotcha. That reminds me now. I got this. I'm not going to tell you where I was when the email came in. But Bill 360, this from Sabina Paris, already exempts World War II unexploded ordnance. Senator Sabina Flores on Monday issued the following statement regarding Bill 360-36. I write to clarify the record and address recent statements released by Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson. I got a picture of him.
Yeah.
But he's not wearing his uniform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody else is. It's weird.
Not in uniform.
It's the whole Joint Region High Command.
Yeah.
And number one, all these guys have bigger beer bellies than me, which makes me feel good. Number two, they're all like everybody except him in their dress whites, but not with the dress white hat. They're all wearing Santa Claus hats. And I just don't know if that's right with the Navy's master plan.
Chief is kind of,
I'm just happy they're all wearing the right gender clothes anymore these days. You know what I mean?
Sir.
But anyway, I received a letter from the Rear Admiral expressing his concern that the original bill would negatively affect the disposal of World War II unexploded ordnances. Taking this into consideration, Bill 360 was subsequently amended to allow for an exception for World War II unexploded ordnances. I thank the Rear Admiral for his interest in this legislation and look forward to more citizen-centered collaboration with JRM for the people of Guam. The passage of this bill brings us one step closer to protecting our island from the harmful effects of open burning and open detonation of hazardous waste while prioritizing public safety. Didn't say anything in here about enough of Malik, but believe it or not, they actually... Serious. They use that word, the phrase in the bill, unless they amended that. Other jurists in blah, 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 blah. Children, the Manamco veterans. We await the governor's support in signing this legislation into law. And there's another email where they remembered at her office, maybe we ought to include the engrossed version of the measure, what we sent to the governor's office so everybody can see all of these delicious changes that were put in there. So everybody that was saying yesterday that if you find unexploded ordnance, take it to Senator Sabina Perez's office, just calm down. Calm down. I'll take a look at the legislation and we'll see if in fact it has the appropriate language.
The red wire, Ray.
Is it? But I was using one of those Callium sticks, so red looked like green.
Oh.
I didn't know which one, and that's why kaboom.
Come on,
EOD kaboom. but so here's the thing. Now this will be for those of you that are still twitchy about this. And you're going, oh my God, unexploded ordnance, what's going to happen? The Guam Environmental Protection Agency shall promulgate rules and regulations consistent with the provisions of this act no later than 60 days after enactment of this act. Okay, you know who moves even slower than the legislature?
Ooh.
EPA.
Oh, yeah.
EPA.
Sloth.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Yeah, we'll kind of get around to doing that. You've asked them about how long it took them to come up with a solid waste plan. And they never really ended up doing it. I mean, it was one of those, we never really got the solid waste plan out of these guys. It all turned into something that the lady over at the district court ended up putting together. Was I done at this point? 6:40. Just let me get through these guys real quick. I got to get Bill Petit online. We went to Toledo. There was an exhibition. This is Bistro now, of medieval torture devices. Oh, but we couldn't go in. They were closed.
Holy
not visiting
Toledo.
prison. Oh, she says they're not visiting prisons. Just my sister.
What?
Nothing.
She got a sister?
She's already making it clear. Yeah, visiting prisons. You stupid. Cody James says, did Christmas dinner at Jeff's before? It was nice. That's good. Okay, Vince Delgado is there. All right, I think we got everybody here this morning. Do me a favor, like, share, follow on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is that you're watching on. And that way, you too will get some kind of a notice, some indication that we are live and online every time we hit the live and online button. In the meantime, it's time to go live and online to News with Donna D. Our first look at big news and headlines. The 6:30 cast here at 6:40 something. Havadana, what happened?
4 people are safe after GFD rescue units responded to a report of distressed swimmers in Ipan Talafofo Sunday night. The group was treated for minor injuries. The Guam National Center reminds the community that a high risk of rip currents remains in effect for Guam through tonight. Health concerns for the man who admitted to his part in a food stamp fraud scheme delayed yesterday's sentencing hearing in district court. His defense attorney asked the court to bring more time to bring the court his health records. Joysa, who is facing up to 20 years in federal prison, is now set to be back in court on December 27. The scheme added up to more than $500,000 in fraudulent SNAP transactions. And the National Weather Service says a high risk of rip currents remains in effect for east-facing reefs of Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota through late tonight. A northwest swell generated by strong gale force winds behind a cold front located south of Japan is approaching the Marianas. Inexperienced swimmers should remain out of the water. A small craft advisory remains in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
All right. So was it not just yesterday? Donna, it's too bad for Donna. She's actually heard me set this bit up before. Did we not say yesterday how much I hate change?
Oh, yeah.
So
You're a creature of habit,
it
Ray.
feels like I'm having to put up with a whole boatload of change these days, and it is annoying to me. First thing is, I go to the gas station every morning to pick up the PDN. They have not had the PDN in several days. They have not had a print version of the PDN in several days. So I reached out to a friend of mine that still talks to me over at the PDN. I said, what is going on? And her response was, the printer is blanked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, like F blank.
It takes real kuyas to fix something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you get printing press kuyas and all of that. And they ordered parts. But, it might come down to one of those things where there could be some supply chain issues, and they're not sure that they will be able to print. This, again, according to my, an insider that I got. She said she would be surprised if they put out a paper edition before New Year's.
Oh, wow.
Right? I mean,
I kind of like this free e-edition.
The free PDN.
Yeah, the one it's so pretty. It's so clear.
Yeah,
and I can zoom into those ads. Those holiday ads. I like looking at holiday ads. And
What's the matter with listening to them on the radio?
I like visual stuff. I'm a visual.
Yeah.
I want to touch the paper, man.
Yeah.
Notice.
And print the Sudoku and the crossword puzzles.
I just, anyway, so that's the first thing I've had to get used to in the last little bit. And I went to the gas station this morning, and I was going to get my essential vitamin water. It's the orange one, not the orange one, okay? Not because there's two orange ones. One of them tastes like medicine, and then the other one tastes almost like the old Foremost orange drink.
It's the orange one, not the orange one.
Yes. Some people understand me better than others. But anyway, so this morning, all they had was the orange one and not the orange one that I like, the essential, which forced me into to getting a different vitamin water here this morning. And the one that I got, because it looked like it was going to be least offensive, is Revive.
Oh, nice.
Fruit punch flavored, plus other natural flavors. It has electrolytes, choline, potassium, antioxidant, vitamin C, all the vitamins.
Great for your bladder, Ray.
All of the If I was going to get the bladder one, it would have tasted more like cranberry sauce, right? The cranberry juice. What does it say here? We've all had one of those nights where everything seems so right and all of our decisions are infallible until it isn't. And they aren't. That's where we come in with potassium and V vitamins, all like, there, hun. You'll be back to your old questionable decision-making self in just a jiff. Oh, this is for hangovers.
No.
It's what it makes it sound like.
Give us a case.
It's the one where you wake up in the morning and said, who did I vote for again? I'll see if I can handle that kind of change. 6:45 in the Ray Gibson Show. I'll tell you what, we'll find out what's going on the roads, and I'll find out who's on line 2 in just a sec.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instagram to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
6:46 in the morning. I read that message from Brandon John Diego. It says, you're always awesome. You make sense. Another day of delivery here at UPS. Love listening to you while out on routes. And I'm going to add this guy. I'm going to add this guy to my friend. My profile, my friend.
Thank you for listening.
For no other reason.
Are you single?
Says nice things, A. And B, Lorenzo Osborne is one of his friends.
Oh, boy, trouble.
Any friend of Lorenzo is a friend. No, that's the guy. No, he's the one. If he ever sees you, never mind. I'm not going to say something could get him in trouble with Dave Lujan. 6:46 in the Ray Gibson Show. It's time to take a look at what's going on in your traffic. First look here. When I click on this, it will show me where we are. No. Zoom out. And B. Never mind what's happening at the Warden of Pacific Park. Nothing major going on. No major accidents over at Woostig and 1. Thankfully, doesn't see anything happening up at Anderson Air Force Base, main entrance there. And southbound Marine Corps Drive, everything looking groovy. Just a tiny bit of intersection intersection traffic over at 1 and 3. Nothing over at Camp Leon Guerrero all the way to 8, 10, and 16. Though you might run into a little bit of traffic after Happy Mart before you get to that one good intersection that takes you into Teedzin. One day, somebody in the government of Guam will figure out we need another entrance to on this side of the street and go ahead and poke that hole in the fence somewhere. It's okay. Just ask the Admiral. I've met the Admiral. He's a cool guy. He might say yes. You know, okay, tell you what. Okay, the hospital in Mio, dumb idea. How about if we can go through that Penguin Avenue, right across from 8, 10, and 16 and let people go in there? Wouldn't that make more sense? Of course it will, which is why it's never, ever going to happen. All right, southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way into the downtown Agutnia area, running clear. Big Navy in Sumai, where everybody's supposed to be. The uniform for the day is a Santa Claus hat. So says the Admiral, so says I. 648, right now, traffic on the point.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tuman location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
All 3 stations, all 3 morning shows. Thanks to all the listeners for Pica's Best. Choice Broadcasting has swept the top 3 best radio stations. The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101. Top 3 radio personalities, Kyle Mandapat, Ray Gibson, and Daryl Lizama. Put the power of Pica's Best to work for you. If you're an advertiser, call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages. And let us get your message out to Pica's Best listeners with Pica's Best broadcasters. And thanks for listening to Pica's Best.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
6:49 in the morning. Time to tell you, start talking about what's in the news here. Guam Daily Post, interesting story on the far right-hand side. Outgoing GEB chair ready to pass the baton. Now, as you read this as you read the story in today's Guam Daily Post, I want you to have the theme song from The Incredible Hulk. From the 1970s, remember, all you got to do is picture Bill Bixby in the thing, hitchhiking across America and trying not to turn into the Hulk. And it always had that pretty piano music in it, very tug at your heartstrings music. I want you to have that playing in your head while you read this story. Mark Mendiola has served on the Guam Education Board for roughly 6 years, has led the board as chairman twice, but it's time to hang up his hat, as his priorities have shifted to helping his eldest son navigate adulthood. Isn't that sweet? That is a very, very sweet thing. Mark Mendiola on the line right now. Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
So I got mad at Real Joe because he couldn't get a hold of you yesterday. You kind of bullied him and told him you were sick. And I'm like, Joe, if he was sick yesterday, how did he get time to be on the phone with Jolene Tovas at the Post?
Oh, she called me on Saturday. That's from Saturday.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so it's old news then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm in that kind of mood today. Can you tell? It's Christmas, my friend. So I'll take an opportunity, while we're talking swan songs here, to wish you and the family and your new business venture very, very good luck in the coming year. You've done an outstanding job, I believe so, in the 6 years that you've been a part of the Ed Board. You and John Fernandez managed to hit a whole bunch out of the park. That was an incredible partnership, and I think some of the people that you'll be leaving behind, including the new guy, Angel Santos, Uncle Angels Sablan, is going to do an outstanding job, filling in some of the gaps that you're going to be leaving behind. But having said that, just thought I'd get caught up with you. Among the last things that you'll be doing over at the Ed Board is decisions on what's going to be happening with a couple of derelict schools and student bodies that may need to be moved around. You guys get close to a decision on that?
Yeah, so I think the decision still stands with the shift from FB Leon Guerrero over to Okadu High School. I did the process of transitioning that over the Christmas break. I do know that we were told that Ocean View Middle School that they were going to let them finish out the semester, the remaining of the school year, and then transition to really just fixing the school up and getting the support necessary for those schools. So yeah, those are some of the challenges right at this point. Ray, we have money sitting aside for facilities improvement. We're trying to get that out through the procurement process, trying to bid things out and just get the work done. And so, of course, the money that we have set aside has a shelf life. It's from the federal government, part of that funding. So there is a plan. We passed the facilities master plan, so there is a priority listing that was based on conversations with our stakeholders. And so that's all laid out. Now we just have the matter of execution at this point.
So start pulling plugs and making the phone calls and getting the notice to proceed.
Yeah, that's of course those are operationalized issues, but the board continues to get briefed by the superintendent to what's up. First we addressed the HVAC systems. We found out that it was beyond the HVAC systems. Actually, some of the electrical systems, over the years, just continue to do patchwork right on some of these projects. AC is down. Let me just put another aircon there.
Right. Yeah, run a longer wire instead of fixing the original problems. I think you're probably going to see a whole lot of that. Decades worth of deferred maintenance, if you will, are going to rear its ugly head. And it's exactly the kind of thing that happens at home where you go, oh yeah, I should be able to take care of this. Quick trip over to Home Depot, come and get some parts, and before you know it, you'll need to call in a professional to repair whatever it is that you have tried to MacGyver your way into or out of. 6:53 in the morning. Mark Mendiola on the line with us now, and I don't know why I've got this feeling that this is the last official conversation I'm going to be having with you as Ed Board Chairman here. So I better load it up with some good questions like, am I going to be the next superintendent of the Department of Education, or did you find somebody that you like?
That's a very good question. We held our interviews on the 27th. It's on our board agenda.
I remember.
The committee will be recommending, I guess, a name to the board, and then we'll be making a decision based on that. And so obviously it took a lot to get us to this point. There were some board members that had some conflicts with some of the candidates, being that through relationship issues and some other issues that needed to be resolved. So we are at this point at the 27th, and we're hoping that, like I mentioned earlier to Ray, one of our previous conversations, this one here is, it's not by simple majority. You have to have, 6 affirmative votes to select the new superintendent. Of course, we hope that's unanimous. And so there are candidates from Island, and there are some candidates from off Island. So a lot of them went through the vetting process. They went through a lengthy interview a week and a half ago. And I think we're ready to proceed. And so on the 27th, there should be a nomination on the floor. And if there is a nomination from any of my colleagues, I'm pretty sure, will give us an opportunity to consider the new superintendent. It's not an easy task, and whoever's going to fill the seat has some, at least a roadmap, so to speak. We passed the strategic plan, and in that we have the superintendent's evaluation in policy now that ties to the strategic plan through student achievement, facilities and maintenance, using data to make decisions. There's just like 7 pillars within the strategic plan that's going to really help drive the Department of Education for the next couple of years.
Is there, will there be, and I think there might ought to be here, a nod to Francie Santos, before the announcements are made about who or the potential new superintendent is going to be. I think he's sat in that chair maybe a little bit longer than he thought he was going to be, and presented with numerous theretofore unseen challenges, especially with facilities at the Department of Education. Are we going to get? You're going to get him a 6-piece over at KFC with the little glass thing? Say congratulations, infusion gift certificates. What are we going to do for Francie?
Well, of course, he's truly a public servant, man. He when we called him up, and I remember making that phone call, I told him the 3 priorities. Of course, was some of the facility issues. Dealing with high risk was a big one for us. Stabilizing, operations as we open schools. And so he accomplished a lot of these things, and he did the heavy lift and the heavy push on this third-party transition with Frank Kuperners, and so we're just grateful for his leadership at the helm. And so I'm pretty sure the board will recognize him at the appropriate time. But yes, he continues to be on board, and we're just grateful that he was able to assist us for the time that he's been at the department.
I got you. So shopping spree at Macy's then. I'm just, off the top of my head, I think there ought to be something. He ought to get, some kind of acknowledgement of the great work that he did over there. Say what you want to. He was one of the voices that was very clear and urgent and insistent with the Department of Education, the stateside Department of Education, and that's going to make it so that we've got actual money that we can put into the classrooms and in front of teachers and students. Mark, listen, I'm going to let you go. I know how busy you are, and looking forward to hearing from you in your new role as super dad and a member of the private sector here.
Right on. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate all the support all these years. Thank you so much.
No sweat, buddy. No sweat. Always a pleasure. And what is it that Will Castro said to the guy over at the Bank of Saipan? I never forget my friends.
Yeah.
I never. You did me a solid. I'm going to do you a solid.
He's been a fountain of great quotes lately.
It certainly
Will
has.
Castro.
6:58 and change. Ray Gibson Show. I've not yet cracked the seal on my hangover fruit punch here from the guys over at the Vitamin Water. I might do that while the news is playing because I don't want to. I'm not sure if I'll make a funny face or if anything is going to come out of my nose, and I don't want it to be part of the actual record here of the Ray Gibson Show. That's coming up as the program continues. It's Tuesday, and some really interesting stories are floating around from the Hawaii Free Press. Let me see if I can get one of them up on the screen here, because I thought this would kind of be interesting. We don't have a whole lot of Army people here, do we? On Guam, just the ones like from the THAAD missile thing.
You mean active duty Army?
Yeah, like real Army, like Army men here.
Real Army men.
Yeah, so here's a story. The photos, which have appeared on social media, show male soldiers in uniform or parts of uniforms wearing dog mask, leather, and chains. Some of the photos depict poses of submission and sexual acts. Another photo shows a soldier in combat fatigues wearing the dog mask on an airfield. They're expressing concerns. The Army investigating gay bondage pictures taken on the base in Hawaii. So, and you might be wondering, what does that look like, Ray? Do we have any? Yes, I have redacted pictures of what we're talking about. The people might be asking, hey, where can I get a dog mask like that? And I don't know. It might be, is that one of the things that they're going to be selling at that Don Donkey place? Don Quixote, will we be able to get bondage masks that make us look like dogs? I don't know, but I thought it was an interesting story. I might chase this around, along with some of the other cool things coming out of Hawaii here in just a little bit. In the meantime, seconds away from the top of the hour, the radio station's KUSG Agutnia. We are Pika's Best. Stand by for Fox News Live on The Point.
Recommendation to prosecute the former president, Lisa Brady, Fox News. It comes from the House panel wrapping up its probe of the Capitol riot.
A select committee ended a year and a half of interviews and investigations by referring former President Trump and associates for criminal prosecution.
Evidence we've gathered points to further action beyond the power of this committee or the Congress.
Committee Chairman Benny Thompson making a criminal referral on 4 crimes: obstruction, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make false statements, and assisting or aiding in insurrection. The Justice Department does not need Congress to pursue charges, and a special counsel was appointed last month to oversee investigations into former President Trump.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. Trump has criticized the committee as a partisan group doing illegal things. The pandemic-era rule that's turned away many asylum seekers at the southern border expires on Wednesday.
The removal of Title 42 does not mean the border is open. Anyone who suggests otherwise is simply doing the work of these smugglers who, again, are spreading misinformation and which is very dangerous.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre, as several Republican-led states appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court to keep Title 42 in place. Regional migration, part of the focus during an Oval Office meeting between President Biden and Ecuador's leader. They also talked about Russia's president and the war in Ukraine.
Finally, I want to thank you for your moral leadership, your condemnation of Putin's brutal war against Ukrainian people that continues in ways we haven't seen for generations.
The State Department says the U.S. will respond appropriately if Belarus provides additional support to Putin, who was visiting that ally today as Russia launched more drone attacks on Ukraine. Stocks finished lower. The Dow down 163 at the closing bell, but that's off session lows. America is listening to Fox News.
Sandwich numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the new Subway series are dedicated to the almighty cheesesteak.
Dude, you can never go wrong with the number one, the Philly. It's a classic cheesesteak with classic toppings.
Oh no, the pepper jack cheese and Baja Chipotle sauce is the new take on that outlaw cheesesteak.
No. Bacon, Monterey cheddar, and creamy peppercorn ranch on the monster cheesesteak. That's the winner, bro.
Oh yeah? I'll meet you back here for the next round, the Italiano sandwiches.
Try one of the new Subway series sandwiches and order them by number. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Sentencing day in Ohio for a man convicted in one family's mass murder of another family.
George Wagner IV gets life in prison without the possibility for parole in the 2016 Pike County massacre and the killings of 8 members of the Roden family over what prosecutors say was a custody dispute between the two families.
I answer questions that should have never had to be asked in the first place. My heart is forever broken.
Andrea Carver, mother to one of the victims ahead of Wagner's sentencing. His mother and brother have pled guilty to the murders. His father, Billy Wagner, has pled not guilty to charges and goes on trial early next year.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Lawyers for George Wagner argued he wasn't the killer and should be eligible for parole. The judge says he was a willing participant and made no effort to stop the crimes. The United Nations chief is expressing hope that the war in Ukraine will end in the new year. He's urging both sides to hold meaningful peace talks, however, expressing not so much optimism that that could happen anytime soon. Some high-octane gratitude from a big star.
Tom Cruise thanked fans for choosing to make Top Gun Maverick one of this year's biggest box office hits in typical Cruise action star style by jumping out of a helicopter with a parachute on and goggles for a solo free fall dive over the ocean in South Africa.
And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you all for coming out to the theaters, and thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick became Paramount Pictures' biggest hit, having grossed a worldwide total of $1.488 billion. The Golden Globe-nominated film also marks Cruise's personal best when it crossed the $800 million marker in June of this year. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Recapping stocks, the Dow down 162, the NASDAQ drops more than 1%. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro. Joyce Broadcasting introduces their unbeatable lineup of morning show.
Hands down winners of Guam's morning radio battle.
Daryl Lizama grooves his way through Boss 104 playing Guam's favorite classic hits.
Morning mouth Ray Gibson shakes the cage on 93.3 The Point.
And now, we are proud to announce the Morning Blender with Kyle Mandapat, mixing it up at sunrise on Star 101.
If you're an advertiser trying to reach the most valuable ears, we've got the shows that listeners have been tuning into for decades.
One call gets all three.
671-888-7346. That's 888-RGIO.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. A murderer spending life in prison for the brutal killing and rape of 15-year-old Tamika Nauta partially won his appeal in Supreme Court. 28-year-old Brandon Michael Acosta's conviction will now be sent back to Superior Court. In 2018, Nauta was found dead in her Dededo residence. Acosta told investigators he was high on meth at the time. His defense continuously argued against the rape charge, stating the victim was not alive at the time, adding that the confession Acosta made to police about the murder should have never been allowed as evidence at trial. The justices stated the lower court failed to conduct an included offense analysis after the parties raised the issue. The High Court vacated the judgment, also remanding the case back to the lower court for the analysis and to hold a hearing on Acosta's fine and sentencing. Meanwhile, 23-year-old Tomlinson Nikot, who was released in May after being convicted in a Sinahanya knife attack, is back in prison after being accused of trying to attack a Jigo couple with a baseball bat. Court documents state that Nikot was trying to break into the couple's apartment and charged at them with a baseball bat while threatening to kill them. The woman was able to grab her children and leave the apartment. A man that Nikot tried to attack then chased Nikot before police arrived. He told officers he was visiting a friend, admitting to attempting the attack. He also told police to arrest him. He was charged with aggravated assault, terrorizing, and assault, along with a special allegation for using a deadly weapon. More news after this.
Ring in the season with Coca-Cola and Burger King's Win for the Holidays giveaway. Your chance to win one of 3 premium Coca-Cola prize packs at participating Burger King locations. Each prize pack includes a kettle popcorn maker, luggage, a road trip grill, and a custom adult-style bike with helmet. Purchase any Whopper combo meal or frozen beverage. Enter the transaction code from your receipt on the official Coke Guam website. See restaurant for details. This promotion ends on December 31st, 2022. Drawing will be held January 6, 2023. Happy holidays from your friends at Burger King. You rule.
GMH's skilled nursing unit has been recognized by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best nursing homes for short-term rehabilitation care. The publication evaluates healthcare facilities based on care, safety, infection rates, staffing and health inspections, along with data from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Based on this criteria, GMH's skilled nursing facility received a 5 out of 5 and was rated as high performing. U.S. News and World Report ratings are considered one of the country's most in-depth evaluations of skilled nursing facilities, with only 16% of evaluated facilities earning the high performing designation. And if you have too much to drink this holiday season, don't get behind the wheel. Call Safe Drive Home. The program is a free designated driver program that operates during the Christmas and New Year holidays. The program opens at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening and runs through 6 in the morning of January 2. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration states that alcohol reduces brain function and impairs thinking, reasoning, and muscle coordination, which are essential to safely operating a vehicle. Safe Drive Home designated drivers can accommodate up to 5 people per request. To request for a designated driver, call Safe Drive Home at 988 or at 671-787-WARM, 787-9276. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Will they stop at Burger King?
Possibly.
Will they just something like some people want Whopper?
You up,
maybe
right?
somebody will want a Dave's Hot and Juicy or something like that. I mean,
so you don't spew in the car.
There should be no spewage.
No
spewage. Yes,
they're going to have bags
by the
Ray.
Fast food. What?
They'll have plastic bags in there for sure.
I thought you were going to say they would already have food inside the thing. So, yeah. I know some people listening going, they're trying to do something good in the community, and you're making jokes. You're doing bits on the radio about it. Yeah, they're funny bits. Doggone it. 10 after 7 o'clock in the morning. What we've got for you today, mostly sunny skies, daytime highs near 87 degrees. Do we have a sunrise over at Pirates Cove? Stand by. Taco Tuesday arrives, says Jeff up on the screen right now. You can see it. There it is. There's a little bit of the whatever breaking the horizon. As I go backwards through the thing, you can actually start to see a little bit more light on that side of the island. Where's the sun? Where's the sun coming out? Oh, there it is. Almost majestic on the eastern side, where Jeff actually yesterday sent out a message to the high command. You saw it, right?
Yeah,
you saw the thing.
I did.
He's sent out a message to the high commands, the admirals and the generals, asking them to warn their personnel here to stay out of the water, please. You guys, I know, you guys in the Navy, and they're going, oh, I'm in the Navy, I'm a strong swimmer, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't turn your back on the waters on Guam, and you certainly don't turn your back on the waters over at Pirates Cove. It regularly claims lives, and if there's nobody on on the beach to see what's going on. And he's got a team of guys that can rescue you if they know that you're in trouble. There's a big if. So just, go there. My suggestion is chicken wings and cold beer and the burgers with the little Jeff's Pirates Cove stamp on it. That's what you want. That's as close to the water as you need to get.
Yeah.
Trust me on this one. Where was I? Mostly sunny today, highs near 87. Mostly cloudy tonight. There's partly sunny skies in the forecast for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night and mostly cloudy again on Thursday. Daytime highs today in the upper 80s, but it'll feel like low 90s. That's the magic of the heat index, if you will. So be wary of that. Rip current warnings are in effect as well. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:58. There it is. Hashtag tell the others. And go check out the sunset wherever you happen to be. As news and weather together here in The Point.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instaguam to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chelan San Antonio, Suite 204, Timaning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hoffaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pica's Best of 2022.
Right on. 713 Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, and Guam Regional Medical City. They are your healthcare partners.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show.
Studio time 7:14. You remember yesterday I was telling you about my friend Anna, who got a bottle of what looked like really, really expensive scotch, opened it up, and then on the inside was like, hey, it's King Car. Yeah, everybody loves those white elephant games. Isn't that fun? Just crazy. There's a story out of Kentucky. If you've ever participated in a white elephant gift exchange, you know how easy it can be to end up with a dud of a holiday present. For one Kentucky woman, a smart swap led to a six-figure windfall. According to Lori James, she and her co-workers at a Louisville dental center were instructed to spend $25 on gifts, which recipients could choose to keep or trade with somebody else. When a colleague sees the TJ Maxx gift card, I'm saying TJ Maxx, and there might be women out there just weeping a little bit going, why don't we have it here? Anyway, a colleague sees the TJ Maxx gift card she received. She ended up with a scratch-off lottery ticket. A bunch of them. One of which netted her $175,000. Everyone was going insane, getting their calculators out, double-checking. A couple of people even scanned the ticket on the lottery's app just to make sure. $175,000 richer. So certainly a Merry Christmas for her. How about that? Isn't that special? There might be a couple of other interesting stories just like that one that I'll scare up for you, because there isn't a whole heck of a lot going on here. The legislature is all done until the 29th. I mean, that tactical. So the governor's got until, the 28th to act on certain things, and depending on decisions that the governor makes on certain, high-profile pieces of legislation that are making their way, if not already on her desk, the legislature might need to go back in there and express their will, as it were, and say, no, we are the people's representatives, and this is what the people wanted, and so we will override your veto, lady. We'll watch and see if anything like that is likely to happen. Of all things, it would end up being the Heartbeat Act measure that the governor's already suggested that she ain't got no love for, and she's going to veto that. In the meantime, 7:16. And we'll take a quick look at what's going on in the markets. I did manage to turn that website up, so let's get into it now. The S&P 500, let me see, is where are we at today? That's up by, no, I'm sorry, down. Oh, are we continuing the plunge? I thought maybe there'd be some good news over the weekend. Recession angst has dashed hope of a year-end rally, and that's why we're seeing all the numbers in the American markets down. S&P 500 drifting down by 34, closing 3,817. The NASDAQ is at 10,546. That's off by 159 points. Are they the biggest loser? Yep, they sure are. Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 162 points, 32,757. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ and see just exactly, who had a decent day and who did lousy. FTSE is up by 29. Nikkei off by 200 to 89. Hang Seng Index down by almost 100. Net closed at 19,352. The Shanghai Index, where's that one at? 3107, off by 60 points. VIX is down, and the DAX. DAX managed to pick up some points, about 50 points in trade here in that particular market here. Looking at the NASDAQ here, Mercado Libre, JD.com, Pacar, Ross Stores, and eBay are up by are up in the top 5. When was the last time you bought anything off eBay? Do you remember?
I can't remember, really.
I honestly, I used to have the app. It used to be a place where I could go to get cheap radio parts or interesting knickknacks. I used to go there on a regular basis and just look for like Guam memorabilia, old pictures, maps, stuff from the Second World War that got moved to the States with some GI or something. And now the family doesn't know what to do with it. And I might still do that later on today because I'm thinking those were actually kind of interesting times. And, getting into these auctions and then the fun of beating somebody at the very last second. And maybe that's one of the reasons why.
Buy it now.
Maybe that's, but they don't always have a buy it now.
That's what I mean.
That's the problem.
That used to make me upset.
Right? Where there's no buy it now and you have to get into some kind of competition and you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning because none of that stuff trades at our time, right? So you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning watching the transaction go. I'm ahead. I got a second left, and in the very last second, all of a sudden, a winning bid comes in. You just go, crap. What? I'm not going to be able to get that widget, and it's bothersome. So you're going. Maybe that's the thinking is. Never mind. Screw it. Amazon. I'll just go to Amazon and I'll be able to buy it, unless it says this product is out of stock and we don't know when it's going to get replenished.
God, that one.
There's another one. There's another one of those.
We'll notify you.
Yeah. We'll send you. But I turn off notifications because everybody thinks it's girlfriends or something. Anyway, so. It's happy birthday and good news for eBay in the top 5. Bottom 5 on the NASDAQ: Atlassian, Splunk Inc., Vertex Pharmaceuticals, Meta Platforms, right there around the bottom, and Airbnb. What's wrong with the Meta platforms? Is all of the major investments that they have tried to make recently have just not panned out. They were trying to monetize all of these other technologies, frankly, that they stole from TikTok and Snapchat, and it just isn't working out to their benefit right now. What's the next big thing? Late yesterday morning, had some friends from Docomo in there, and we were talking about AI security. Now, AI is huge buzzword. It's everywhere. We've got that AI art that's out there with the Lensa that everybody is playing with to the tune of about $7. And there is a new kind of AI chatbot. Now, I haven't done a lot with this yet. Just reading up on it now. A growing chorus of experts believe the oracular artificial intelligence program called ChatGPT is too good at passing as human. So you get into this chat thing, and it's like you're talking to a human being, and it's supposed to be really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Critics
fear.
What do you talk about? Well, I know what I'd talk about. Critics fear its capacity for generating endless quantities of authentic-seeming text will trigger a trust meltdown. Trained on vast troves of online text, OpenAI's chatbot remixes those words into often persuasive imitations of human expressions and even style. High school, college instructors have long had to battle plagiarism and ghost-written term papers. Chatbots now threaten to make this problem exponentially harder. If you are in the business of law, entertainment, science, history, media, there's a very, very good chance that some of the things that you see coming out now may not have any kind of human genetics in it whatsoever. It's just a computer spitting out words. Venture capitalist Fred Wilson foresees the use of cryptographic signatures to verify a document's origin. because there is going to be so much of this artificial intelligent text that's floating around in all kinds of fields. You may need to, I don't know, take a blood test in order to prove that that document actually came from you. So ponder that. While we're also pondering some technology, what's going on at Twitter? When I hit the Twitter yesterday, I ran into this poll. Maybe you saw it as well. Elon Musk asking the question in the poll, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. What did he say before? Vox Populi? And the number one answer is yes. 17.5 million people voted on this in the short time that it was on Twitter. 57.5 said, yes, you should step down as the head of Twitter.
Bots.
Okay, so what do we know about Elon Musk? This guy is crafty, right? He would not have asked that question if he didn't already have a plan for either one of the foreseeable outcomes. 57% of the 17.5 million respondents voted against him. The question is not finding a CEO. He said the question is finding a CEO who can keep Twitter alive. This, at the same time, that Tesla is going upside down. After he'd, in response to his Twitter takeover, Tesla shot up nearly 5% in pre-market trading as early as this morning. Investors are hoping and assuming that he will quit Twitter. He's long dismissed the value of corporate titles and recently assured anxious Tesla investors that he planned to step down as Twitter's head eventually. So why not make a big splash about it? Intense criticism at Twitter for announcing it would ban accounts used to promote some rival social media sites, including Facebook, Instagram, and Mastodon. And have you tried Mastodon? Has anybody gone to Mastodon? It's like everybody was all crazy about Donald Trump's Truth when it first came out. And I'm like, okay, I can't think of a more boring way to spend an afternoon scrolling through Truth. The problem is there's just not enough people there to get in a scrap with, because we are all basically on the same page. All right, let me get back to the page I was looking at here. We got already went through the markets there. On the commodities, where are we on? Oh, gold at 17,961, off by $4 from where it was yesterday. In the land of oil, West Texas crude trading at $75.52, narrow trading range in the last week or so. Same thing with Tapis. Tapis at 85, and that price is locked over the last 3 days. Maybe tomorrow we'll see a change in where we are with Tapis. But I want to say that prior to that, it had been trending. It was only up by 8 cents from last Thursday or Friday. Going to Japan, 136 is the number that I looked at earlier this morning. Almost 137 yen in exchange for the greenback. Still about 55.3 if you're headed to the Philippines. And my buddy, I ran into my buddy Wallace yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. He's like, hey, we can go now. I said, yeah. He says, dude, you know what? You were smart. And I said, thank you very much. You've known that about me since we were in the 6th grade. He said, yeah, but no, you were smart. You knew that eventually, if you waited out long enough, then they would drop any of the noise about vaccines and boosters and just let you in with a negative PCR test. And I said, absolutely, I did. I am the smart one. But have I taken advantage of that? Not yet. You'll trust me. You'll know when I do, because you'll wake up in the morning and I won't be here. 725. We got where the peso at 55, and if you are trading with Korean wons, it's 1,302 won in exchange for your greenback. 725. Do I have a Bitcoin number, Real Joe?
You do 16,600.
Lower than yesterday, right? It was about the same.
Little bit lower.
A little bit lower. Yeah. Okay, so it seems narrow, but still kind of moving in that direction. Under 20,000 which is terrible for all of the people that bought at over 20,000, and there were a whole bunch of you. 7:25 in the morning. Jerry Roberts has got the extra point. Before we get into it, though, a reminder that this is not the only place where you can get Jerry Roberts. He occasionally has submissions in the Guam Daily Post. Today is one of those days. So you got the work zone in the Daily Post, and inside of it today, the headline will scream, "You just can't please everybody." Is that a riff on a Rolling Stone song? But if you try real hard, you often find you get what you need. No, it's different. You just can't please everybody. Works owned by Jerry Roberts in this morning's Guam Daily Post. Right now, you get him on the radio. It's the Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
More today on the importance of keeping our mind open to new ways of working. That's coming next on the Extra Point.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Yesterday, we talked about the reluctance on the part of workers to seek and or accept new ways of doing things. How, after a certain number of years, habits have set in and we're likely not going to give them up, at least not without a struggle. The three primary reasons for this are that we've been productive doing things our way, our work style is comfortable, and third, there is a fear of the unknown. You can find the transcript for this, number 1221, at guamtraining.com. Today, let's focus on 4 key points in why we should be open to change in the way that we work. Number 1, change is growth. All of our lives, we've been adapting to change, and we've seen a lot of it. That change may not always have been welcome or pleasant, but we've handled it. To some people, change is also about control. In life, we often give up control to someone else, whether that be our employer, government, or maybe family. So what can we hang on to? How about the way we do things, that style? New ways, if we don't fight tooth and nail against them, will inevitably bring fresh insights. That tells us we're capable of taking on a new challenge and capable of growth. Number 2, what if we can't let go? Some people have an extremely difficult time in shedding the old for the new. On one hand, they know resisting is pointless and that change is inevitable, yet they still hit the brakes on it. Whether out of fear or they are in that comfort zone, this can be an issue that prevents them from being advanced to a new position, or at the very least, sets them on a collision course with their boss who has to see that changes are implemented. Perhaps the biggest danger of gluing oneself in a certain place is that we become insulated from opportunities to grow and expand our skills and knowledge. That growth is a gift we give ourselves, a positive stroke that tells us we're still in the game, still a player. Number 3, if you're having trouble with this, talk to your boss. Some people find that being open about this can be beneficial. A manager who is understanding can work with you to help you adapt. That might mean going slow at first, gaining confidence, then adding more to establish momentum. Number 4, the benefits of adapting to change cannot be ignored. Once we shift our mindset and go with changes, some switches get flipped inside of us. The new knowledge plus confidence as we get in step with it flips the creative switch. Not only do we make the change, we then find ways to bring our personal style into the mix. The change ends up looking a little bit different on us than it does on the next person. The new confidence and creativity then flips the switch labeled enjoyment. We've adapted, we've grown, and found ways to make change fit our personality. We're okay. To be honest, everyone's journey doesn't go like this. Be open, work at it, and yours can. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
Got you, Jerry. 7:30 in the morning on The Ray Gibson Show, and it must be time to wander into news and headlines with Donna D. This one here brought to you by the guys over at Holiday Realty. Yes. Nominated past the bar on the Pecos Best, and they are willing to go and work for you to make all of your real estate dreams come true, no matter what they are. And how do you get a hold of them? I'd use the phone, 588-4232. A little bit early right now, so maybe an email will help, holidayrealty@gmail.com. And get your hands on the new Italian Royal Crispy Chicken at BK. I've had my share of this and absolutely loved it. It feels like, I don't know, your favorite Italian food between two pieces of great BK buns. Try that, and while you're in the drive-thru, ask for your Super American Circus Winterland free kids tickets as well. From Burger King, and now with news and headlines. Donna, what happened?
Jackstino Rafael Cose, who was charged in the 2017 robbery of Hills Market in Gigo, was granted a suspended 10-year sentence with 2 years probation by Judge Alberto Tolentino yesterday in Superior Court. In 2017, Cose was charged in the robbery of Hills Market in Gigo with 3 other men. Cose's attorney, John Terlahi, says there were times when Cose didn't report to probation, but now he is on track to complete the requirements and only needs to pay the $1,400 restitution. Meanwhile, 56-year-old Joey G. Kitsutsu was taken into custody for spearfishing in a marine preserve. Conservation officers were conducting night enforcement patrols at PD bomb holes on November 30. As Kitsutsu made his way back to shore, he was arrested. His truck and fishing gear were confiscated by the conservation officers, and he was charged with illegal activities in a marine preserve. And AG-elect Doug Moylan says he is aware of the growing problem of drug-fueled crime on Guam and has vowed to work with both the legislature and judiciary to severely punish those who break the law. Governor Lulian Guerrero is also aware the island hasn't felt safe, saying the administration is working aggressively to strengthen law enforcement to be more visible in the community. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Kick people out when you can kick people out. I mean, I don't understand why there just seems to be such a disconnect with the desires of most people around here when it comes to immigrants that have crossed the boundaries of common sense and decency around here. And the deal is they ought to be sent away. Deport, use that as a tool to keep Guam safe, because it just isn't. A little bit later on, maybe another example of safety here on Guam. Let me see. Was it last week we were lamenting over the number of random baseball bat crimes that were taking place? That was followed by random machete attacks that were taking place in this town. And it looks like we've got another headline. This Nikot guy, which has returned now to the baseball bat crimes. And you just go, wait a second. The cops know who these people are. They know they're known commodities around here, and most of them are deportable. So why are we not deporting them? Maybe that's something that we can work on. Unfortunately, it seems like we're going to have to wait until we get a new attorney general sworn in order to get that done. 7:33 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. We'll take a look at what's going on your roadways and more as the program continues.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you win up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, Foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, Foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
All right. What again? There it is. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, I was looking for magistrate reports before we get too far into the program. But first, I got to do this. It's 7:34. Time to take a look at what's happening on your roadways. Is it busy right now? No. You know why? Because there's no school right now. We don't have like that on Guam right now because it's the Christmas season and Christmas break for lots and lots of kids and their parents. Don't see a whole lot happening on Guam's roadways. Southbound Marine Corps Drive clear all the way until you get to Micronesia Mall at the intersection where we have the Camp Leon Guerrero. A little bit busy right there. A little bit of traffic on 16 all the way down to 810 and 16, but very, very slight traffic at the tri-intersection. A little bit of dogging out traffic on Route 4 until you get into, Route 8 before you get into town. Route 4 running fairly clear. Route 10 looking pretty good because those schools are closed too. And then you get into, where are we? Southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way to Big Navy and Sumai and very, very slight traffic. Enjoy the drive, why don't you? It's 7:35 on The Point.
Wow, nice
smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his Smile team. Suite 119 in the East West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his Smile team.
They make smiles happen.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
You know, just because it has bells in it doesn't make it a Christmas song.
Yes, it does.
No, it does.
Yes.
Is that it?
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right?
Didn't TLC have a whole bunch of songs with bells in them from back in the day?
Did they what?
That they weren't Christmas songs.
Like what?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's trust me, there's a couple of TLC.
Yeah, no scrubs.
Ain't too proud to beg.
Yeah, there's a couple of lines in that song that I can't do on the radio, but I think I'm going to turn that into my message on the Instagram messages.
Nice.
See now, no crap, it's in my head, and I want to say it just to be edgy, and now I can't do it. I'll find it. But trust me, there's a because I remember remarking on the radio when those songs were playing as hits, and it wasn't anywhere near Christmas, and I'm going, there's jingle bells in these songs.
Are you sure they were sleigh bells or just like regular old bells? Because somebody asked me,
can you turn
this into a Christmas song? And all they did was add sleigh bells.
Add sleigh bells, and then we're good to go. 7:37 on the program right here until I'm not going to be here anymore. Let me do some shouts to some of the folks on YouTube. Mike Legwetnia checking in from Las Vegas. Earlier, I put up a picture, and I didn't bother to explain it, but I probably should have. It's a picture of Johnny Utah enjoying the program in Las Vegas. He says had to escape the minus 10-degree weather.
Vegas, baby.
And so he said, I'm going to the desert. I'm going to Las Vegas, where I'm sure it's still cold at night, but it ain't minus 10. Is what he was running away from. And he's listening at that point. Looks like he's on some kind of a tower, right? Towering above all of the strip joints and the gambling that you can do in Las Vegas. Von Taikinku, I got Joe Antitino, Felice Tan from over at Beyond the Box. And what do they got for you at Beyond the Box? Everything. But you got to get in there soon because with the Christmas and the urgency and last minute shoppers, they're going to be pulling out all of those cool digital toys and accessories for your iPhones, your iPads, whatever. So get in there right now. And remember, earlier hours, store opens at 10 this morning. Vince Delgado, Andre Sinodo, Ariola Sil, Carmen Ferrin Valino, Buenos Anafade to Kaisil Camacho Simlan, Eric Chong, Roy Burgess. Hey, that's my running buddy. Came in third at the Father Duenas race on Friday. Good job there, bro. Josie Cruz White, Francis Duffy, my bud Isaac with the collapsed lung. He's waving, so he must be doing better. Nice to hear. Franklin Mendiola Bunker says, I'm near the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Good for you. Win me something big. Tracy Perez Limtiaco from the Power Authority online here this morning. Let me see. Drew Tenorio, Mel Flo. Mark has been proud about the board being the most transparent board in the government. Why haven't they made public the applicants for superintendent during the last superintendent search? The board published the applicants from the start. Why not in this case? Interesting question. Judy Shockley's there. Pat and Norma Jean Flores. What's that? Golden Corral buffet, $9.99. Wiener Schnitzel. Golden Corral. Got to be in Vegas. If you go to the Wiener Schnitzel, we used to have a Wiener Schnitzel at the airport. Somebody told me it's like just like hot dog stand now. I guess they didn't want to pay the franchise fees anymore. So what do you got? You can get 6 hot dogs there for $3. Whoa. And it's der Wiener Schnitzel hot dogs, too. They got good buns and the chili. Excellent. Canned goods at Winco, under $1. 2-liter Coke, zero. Wait. It says Seymour for $4. We're definitely suffering in Guam, and considering how bad politics and the Liu administration is on Guam, I'm really thinking of relocating. I know lots of people are already in that. Many have already, said Randy Landis. Was a bunker out in Coeur d'Alene says $3.45 for a gallon of milk. You?
What?
$3.45
drinking that
for a gallon of milk. What's that? Up and early in the Philippines is Randy Landis. You know, every time I think of Randy Landis, I think of a story about pickleball that I haven't done yet, and I will try to get that in there. Lynn Vince, Borja Polino, Charlie Hermosa online, Eric Ada, Venue Guam, Huff and Phil, good to have you there. Wen Rowie, Rowena's online. Kim Anderson Young watching the program from Security Title. And I've got to say, I didn't realize it until, this is a weird thing about Facebook, right? Even when you're dead, you'll still get birthday announcements. So my dad, it said Eska Gibson has got a birthday, but Pop's birthday is on the 19th. He might have put that in there to throw off the hackers or something like that. But it got me thinking about my dad. And I'm scrolling down, and it goes, other people having recent birthdays. And then there's Kim Anderson Young, and hey, when was the party? I didn't get the call for that. Joanne Fullerton's there, Ben Borja, Bill Fritton, Aquino Maipi, and Glenn Hunter. Glenn, I got a friend request. Is that really from you, or have you been hacked? Check and then hit me up with a DM and let me know. One of my favorite real estate people, Claire Delgado, is there. You remember her, old man? Was a photographer, great photographer here on Guam.
Yes.
And my classmate since forever, Cameron Mendiola and Annalise Wensden. We were talking about eBay before. eBay can be great the week or so before Christmas. For example, my daughter wanted bunny slippers, and instead of driving all over town to find them, she was able to get some on eBay, brand new, shipped the next day. Amazon can also do that, but sometimes their shipping estimates are too long. Christmas gifts arriving January 9th. I have a few of those. Oh, Annalise, we all do. Bertha Mazza Cruz, Greg Baz Knight is online. Who else is on? Elon is brilliant, says Charlie. Now he knows who is against him. That's right. They all voted yes. Rick and Augustin, Ovi Kitagua, Eric Ada, Mel Barnes, and Jackie Lado Pablo. I got Dave Churchill. Sorry, that's Charles David Churchill. Jesse Nanetti, Aurelio Pareda, Jose Tetpago Jr., Michelle Lasunko, Joey and Vanji Gokwi. Huge crowd. Thanks so much for playing around. Mike Schneip, Nadine Gokwi, Palomo, Nen, just Nen, is watching. Stephen Applegate.
Real guy.
Real guy. And, with all the conversation about EOD, bro, and hole digging, I've been thinking about you.
Safe travels, sir.
Tommy Bernardo's there, Mary Juan Camacho, Catherine Tyron, Mercy Wenzel, Tammy St. Augustine, Frank Matanani, Naomi Taitano.
Hey, Frank.
I got Edgardo Blancaflor, Chris Barnes, Maggie Woods, and Donna D.
Hey, Donna, I never.
It says, meanwhile on Guam, $15. Wow, $3.50 for a gallon of milk. I don't even like milk, but just the comparison will get people thinking about where it is that they want to have an address in 2023. 743. Is that Simon on the line?
That's my Uncle Simon.
Uncle Simon Sanchez hanging out with us this morning on the program. First off, I want to say, as we do in the last few days before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you and Lou and the entire family.
Feliz Pascua, Ray, to you and your loved ones and all the listeners of The Point. It's always a great relationship, and you kept me company at Custom Fitness the past hour, and enjoyed the show, and always bring more smiles than smirks. That's for sure.
Oh,
thank you for all you do.
Kind of the goal. Even though every once in a while I'll end up being tiny bit snarky, but I did want to do a couple of things. The paperwork seems to be in play right now. Legislature sent it to the governor's office, and Santa Lou and the 15 Elves have now provided us with another 5 months of $100 a month credits to the Guam Power Authority. Anything that we should be aware of in this version of that programming?
No, it's similar. It's identical to what they did before, and I guess in another way they listen to you. We talk about give back to GRT, right? And the only problem I have with that sometimes is the GRT is a piece of so many parts of the price of a final good, right? And you got freight, you got cost of goods, and inflation has really affected it, where you may not feel that 1% even if it's given back. But these kinds of give backs, just like you said earlier in the show, they go right to the taxpayer or ratepayer. We are running a surplus, and it's a more direct way to give it back. So Tracy's already sending out the internal email. They're working on it to begin processing. Most of the December bills have gone out, right? The ones that are mailed in December for your November usage. But we start a new cycle every week, and they're preparing to put in the credit. And I don't know whether, and there was some confusion with the first one, as you pointed out, and we all learned that it was a little confusing the way we applied it. I hope it will be less confusing. It was applied. Everyone got their $500 over 5 months, but I don't know whether you're going to get a 200, then a 111, or 5 months of 100, just given the timing of the bills, right? You already got your December bill. We already got our December bill. So I'll leave it up to Tracy and management, and John will be back quickly to sort out how quickly we put it back. Because I don't think they give us the 25 all at once as well. They give it to us in like $5 million monthly increments. So we give it back in monthly increments. But it's good news for our ratepayers. And then, oil continues to fall. So we're watching that. The PUC gets to look at our numbers from November. They get to look at it in January, and hopefully prices remain down. It's just unfortunate we're having to purchase the most highly refined oil product, right? The ultra low sulfur diesel, not low sulfur diesel,
ultra
2%, ultra low, which is 0.2%, 90% less than what we were burning before, and it's reduced our emissions 99%. So the air is much cleaner down in PD and everywhere, and wherever we burn it. But it's the most expensive. It's buying like ultra premium at the gas station all the time, right? And I don't even do that for my car.
Right.
So, but it's there, and hopefully those prices will begin to come down. And when we recapture, remember, as you know, we fronted $40 million in oil costs that we didn't pass on to our ratepayers, and the ratepayers that own GPA are saying, hey, put that money back, and that's what we're putting back because we need that for capital improvements, to pay the mortgage, to pay payroll. We don't want to mix the LEAC with the non-LEAC, and the base rate hasn't changed since 2013. 10 years that we haven't changed the base rate. We've been able to lift the pay of our line employees from the 5th percentile to the 25th percentile from the savings they've created. We've got 20% fewer employees than we had 10 years ago. The employees work really hard.
You need to underscore that there is, from time to time, criticism that says, my God, we haven't seen oil prices this low in forever, but we're still paying the highest rates for power. And as you pointed out just a second ago, we're not paying higher rates. The power rates, the power bill fluctuates because of fluctuations in the LEAC, in the fuel recovery.
Right, and remember when oil started to go up during COVID in 21 and 22, we didn't pass on the rate increase because, hey, there's never a good time to pass on rate increases. Nobody likes it. We would have been yelled at in 2021 for what we're being yelled at now. It's like no good deed goes unpunished. We held back because COVID was difficult. In retrospect, we're going, God, when there was all that PUA money and PPP money, maybe we shouldn't have held back because now that money is tightening up and we're still having to recover that money. But, we've got to just remember that, 30 years ago, the legislature and the governor set rates. We defaulted on a bond because a certain senator wouldn't let us raise rates. The Congress had to bail us out, and they said, get the governor and the legislature out of rate setting. Get an independent body that can do the research. And that the PUC's now been around for 35 years, setting the rates that for a number of utilities. And the CCU's been around now for 20 years, managing the power and water piece of the puzzle. And all we ask for is the money that comes from oil, so we can pay for the cost of the tanker. We don't make any money on oil, but we can't lose money on oil because we own this power company. We can't have it. We can't afford to have it go do what it was doing in the 80s where it nearly went bankrupt, and we've had enough agencies that are in receivership and have federal this and federal that. We don't have any of that at GPA or GWA. We're run by our own people you people you see at the grocery store, people that pay the same power and water bill, and they work their butts off to try to keep those costs down. And unfortunately, oil is beyond the control of everybody, and inflation's
Elon Musk is going to take that over. We're going to get lower fuel prices here. Just watch. Just not to interrupt, but I did want to get a couple of numbers in my head. So this new version of the Programman is $25 million. The last one was $25 million, and then there was a bailout from the governor's office just before. That was 15. So in total in the last year, there's $65 million that has been spent to the benefit of the consumer, the power consumer.
There's your 1% GRT reduction right there, $60 million. In effect, they did exactly what you told them to do. They just did it in in a different way. And you're right, we are benefiting from strong revenues at the general fund. So to the degree they can give it back to taxpayers or ratepayers, we all appreciate it because it's tough. But even with the strong revenues, teachers are getting a little bit better pay. The police are getting a little bit better pay. There's some things that we've had to do that also come out of those funds. The work of government is never done. The work of taxes, unfortunately, never is. But I'm still glad we live here, imperfect as we are. But Guam's still a good place to live and try to do your thing, and hopefully we will continue to make things better.
Do I need to charge Custom Fitness for the mention? I should, right?
If you want, I don't think they're going to pay you.
Have them send me a coupon for a walk-in. 10 away from the top of the hour. One last thing, because I know how busy you are now that you've worked out, so you need to shower up.
You can smell it from here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, always. So
I'll go downwind.
Sabine Paris, Senator Sabine Paris, is going to be having, if it's still on, a round table on used oil. And once upon a time, we've had conversations about being able to take used oil and throw it into a Guam Power Authority power plant, mixing it with the sludgy stuff that we were burning, and being able to eliminate the used oil from restaurants and fix-it shops that way. And I kind of lost the string on that story, because does GPA still take any of that used oil? And if not, what are we doing with it?
As long as Cabris is still making power, yes. But as you know, once Ukudu opens in 24 and we turn off Cabris, there's no place to take it. We're now burning the ultra-low sulfur diesel, right? We can't burn any of that stuff anymore. And so I know John B., and I'll wait till he gets back, but he's working on some sort of alternative way to see if we can burn it, because it's a real community problem. You think of all the waste oil that is created from restaurants and vehicles, both at home and commercially. What are we going to do with it? And if we have to ship it off, which is the worst case scenario, because we'll have to ship it off, the cost, you're not going to like the cost of your hamburger. So, those are real challenges that we have to sort of figure out. So, but I think John B. is trying to find a way, is there a small generator we can use just to burn it off? But again, you're going to have to pay for it. Somebody's going to have to deal with that. It was easy when we had Cabris. Cabris is going away in a year and a half. So is about 800,000 barrels of oil in a year and a half that we don't have to pay for anymore in the LEAC when that new generator turns on. But when we turn off Cabris, we have a new headache in the waste oil. So we'll just have to keep you informed on it.
So you said something about burning. I know Dave Sablon's probably listening going, burning? What? We can burn? I know how to burn stuff and make electricity out of that. Does that take us a little bit deeper into the realm of a conversation that feels like waste energy?
I don't know the technology Dave's team would be looking at it. I've always been a proponent of waste energy. John B. recommends it. It's about worth 9 megs a day of baseload because we keep creating trash. But we haven't had the move from, as a commission as a whole, John hasn't pushed it as aggressively. We know the governor has concerns about what do you do with the toxic waste that's created.
There's no toxic waste.
But we know... Yeah, there is, but it's so small compared to building a new dump, right? A new cell. And so we really think that, when you look at Taiwan and Japan and Hawaii and anybody that's an island, something like Chalapago, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, obviously worth considering. I mean, you don't have to pay for the raw material, and it just feels like
renewable.
Yeah,
renewable.
Feels like a cash register.
Yeah, we agree. We agree, and I think that's a good suggestion for us in the new year to revisit it. But we know some other players have some concerns, and so we'll have to tackle that. Meanwhile, we're getting Ukudu built as fast as possible. We're trying to get that generator moved up there because that's the real money saver. Is the more efficient Ukudu generator.
I told you. I mentioned on the radio side. I'm really excited about this. Like, I know the guy that's going to be driving that little Caterpillar engine that's going to be moving at 2 miles an hour between the port and the Ukudu site. And so I intend to be a part of at least one of those late night moves just to see what's going on.
Yeah. It's my understanding it's not one guy. It's a group of folks because there's like 30 independent axles. So they all got joysticks for each axle. And
then he's the boss of them because he's the biggest. He's just a mountain of a man.
Well, The wonderful thing about public-private partnerships, Ray, is that we shift the risk to the private sector. They drop it, it's on them.
Right.
We don't pay them until they generate energy. But we really want to shut down Cabras because it just uses way too much oil. And oil is the challenge of all of us. I just talked to a good friend who's now looking at an electric car.
Yeah.
The new tax incentives for electric cars are out there. The new tax incentive for renewables are out there. So that's going to help our future bids if you're a U.S. company. So, take advantage of that. The last time we had a huge surge in rooftop solar was when the tax credit was first issued. So if you've ever thought about rooftop solar, the federal government, or in this case, Ms. Shimizu at Rev and Tax, is willing to give you a one-for-one credit for 30% of what you invest will be taken right off the top of your taxes. For the other things that you earn income on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a great time to
might be
look
worth
at.
talking about. All right, 7:56. I'm gonna let you go. I had a good time talking with you. Merry Christmas to you. Hugging a kiss to Auntie Lou, and hope I see you soon.
Take care, Ray. Merry Christmas. Feliz Pascua, everybody.
No.
Take care of each other.
There it is. Simon Sanchez in the Consolidated Commission on Utilities. A couple of interesting conversations, and because you know where my mind is at. I get this slippery stuff, this oil, and whatever it is that comes out. Think about whatever restaurant that you're dining at these days, and they come out, and then we got fried chicken, and there's a hamburger there, and there's chicken wings, and French fries, freedom fries, whatever, and all of that oil, they can't use it forever. So it eventually needs to go out someplace, and right now they burn it. They take it, as the man says, out to Cabras, throw it in the maw at the same time with the other fuel, and the machine doesn't know any different. It's possible that if you put your head up to the exhaust of Cabras, smell like French fries.
Yummy.
Oh my God, it smells like the old USO, right? Sorry, that's a smell I will
That
never
is a
unlearn.
good smell, right?
And same thing with the oil. The used oil that come out of engines and overhauls and things like that. That's got to go somewhere as well. And I'm with him. I don't want to store it. As far as I'm concerned, we'll take some of that stuff, burn it with all of the rest of the trash. And I don't know what he's talking about. Toxic waste. It seems to me that there is no. The EPA would not allow for any kind of real toxicity to be coming out of any end of the incinerator. And because we ain't paying for it, seems to me that the ratepayers ought to be able to get a pretty decent discount on fuel recovery, since I'm throwing it away every day. Know what I mean? I think you do. Closing in on 8 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Yes, on a Tuesday morning. There's other items in the table of contents that I might get to a little bit later on. But I will give you a programming note. Actually, let me give you two. I'm pretty sure I got jury duty on Thursday. I'm pretty sure, although there's a part of me that is hoping that maybe, we don't need to have jury duty on Thursday. It's too close to Christmas, too close to New Year's. Maybe we'll just go ahead and let this thing slide for a little bit. It's not like the crooks are going to go anywhere. It's not like they're leaving. Not like they're not going to just fade into the backdrop either. And then Monday is the observed Christmas holiday. So Saturday, Christmas Eve, Sunday is Christmas Day, and my understanding from my number one, the admin guy, is that the day after Christmas is the holiday. Day after New Year's is the holiday. So we might have a couple of 3-day weekends in a row.
Wait a minute, I'm not your number one.
No? Well, you're number one in here. Kevin's the number one in the office. And so I'm wondering how many companies, is it possible that there are companies who will use the couple of, a series of 3-day weekends in a row in order to introduce their employees to the concept of a 4-day work week? Conversation comes up every once in a while, right? And a lot more businesses are having those conversations because, number one, you can't hire anybody, and if you do, they're a pain in the ass and want everything their way. That sounds great. Tell you what, I only want to work 4 days a week. I want to have a 3-day weekend every week. And a lot of companies are saying, okay, well, if that turns into enhanced productivity and efficiency in the company, it's something worth talking about. And a couple of companies that have talked about it and have tried it are very, very pleased with the results. So ponder, if you will, while the news is playing. I'll return to the conversation and maybe spend some time talking about Randy Landis's favorite sport, which is pickleball, in the coming hours of the Ray Gibson Show. We're 93.3 KUSG. I got you. They call us Pika's Best for a reason, and one of those reasons is because we are the headquarters for Fox News. Top of the hour, every hour. Here it comes.
The former former president a step closer to possible criminal charges. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The panel probing the Capitol riot is recommending charges. Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill.
The House Select Committee says there is evidence for the Justice Department to pursue 4 crimes committed by former President Trump, including inciting, assisting, or aiding an insurrection and conspiracy to make false statements.
The evidence clearly suggests that President Trump conspired with others to submit slates of fake electors to Congress and the National Archives.
Committee Democrat Jamie Raskin also says the panel will refer House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy and other lawmakers to the Ethics Committee for refusing to honor subpoenas. Criminal referrals are recommendations. Any decision to prosecute would be made by the Justice Department.
A special counsel is already overseeing 2 Justice Department probes related to Trump, who has repeatedly dismissed investigations as witch hunts and calls the committee highly partisan. Several Republican-led states urging the U.S. Supreme Court to take emergency action and temporarily block Title 42 from expiring. That's the pandemic-era rule that limits asylum seekers, scheduled to end Wednesday.
We will go back to Title 8, which allows a process to make sure that people can make their asylum claims heard. Those who do not have a legal basis to remain will be quickly removed.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says the border is not open as the president faces growing bipartisan pressure to address what's already a record surge of migrants. There's breaking news right now from the U.S. Supreme Court on that plea for a temporary hold on the district judge's order that was ending Title 42 enforcement. Chief Justice John Roberts just placing a temporary hold. He's giving the Justice Department until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern to file a written reply brief. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, KFC, oh, KFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks. Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger licking good.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Congress running out of time again to avoid a government shutdown with a 1 week of short-term funding ending this Friday. Work continues on an omnibus bill that would last through the end of the fiscal year.
It's not going to be everything anybody wanted, that's for sure. But it's far preferable to a CR, which will leave the country high and dry. And it's certainly preferable to a government shutdown.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer doesn't want another short-term bill, but some House Republicans would prefer that since they take control of the House in January. Holiday travel about to get messy for millions of Americans.
We will be having this area of low pressure with associated Arctic cold front diving southward by Wednesday. So anticipate snow, heavy snow at times, to overspread the region in the northern Rockies and in the northern tier of the country by Wednesday. So that's not going to be a day to try to fly into or out of the Midwest, and also neither is Thursday.
Fox Weather's Kendall Smith. The same front could dump a mixture on the south and then heavy rain along the East Coast Friday. Crunch time for holiday shopping. And you know what they say about haste.
Context Logic Incorporated, the parent company of e-commerce platform Wish, surveyed more than 6,000 people from the U.S., the U.K., Spain, and Germany to figure out the worst gifts you can give during the holidays. Taking the top spot, defective items that were bought at discounted prices, followed by fruitcake and weight loss items like scales and gym memberships. Other gifts that were deemed the worst include out-of-style clothing, Christmas-themed ties, knockoff luxury goods, and political items. And some bad news if you're still shopping. 1/3 of respondents say they found last-minute purchasing tends to result in bad gifts. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News.
A down day overall on Wall Street. At the close, the Dow lost 162 points. It had been down over 300 at one point, though. The NASDAQ, the biggest loser, down more than 1%. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Happy holidays, Guam! From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GBB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instagram to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
All three stations, all three morning shows. Thanks to all the listeners for Pika's Best. Choice Broadcasting has swept the top three best radio stations: The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101. Top three radio personalities: Kyle Mandapat, Ray Gibson, and Daryl Lizama. Put the power of Pika's Best to work for you. If you're an advertiser, call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages. And let us get your message out to Pika's Best listeners with Pika's Best broadcasters. And thanks for listening to Pika's Best.
Take Care is moving from its current location at the Baltaj Pavilion to the Century Plaza in Tamuning and will be closed December 23rd through the 30th. If you need any assistance, please call customer service at 671-647-3526 or email customer service at takecareasia.com. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. 41-year-old Timothy Terry was arrested in an illegal fishing case, and an investigation is ongoing for another man who eluded conservation officers. Conservation officers were conducting night enforcement patrol in the PD Bombhole Marine Preserve area when they observed two lights actively scanning in the water that appeared to be individuals spearfishing. The officers monitored the activity until the individuals exited the waters and were able to apprehend Terry. He was taken into custody on suspicion of violating preservation regulations. The officers also retrieved miscellaneous fishing gear and the fish catch that was dropped. Anyone with information regarding the case is asked to contact 864-7652. Meanwhile, sentencing for Bassiano Joysa, who was indicted on charges of wire fraud and unauthorized use of food stamp benefits, has been delayed by Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood in District Court. In 2017, Joysa and Hilario T. Willie executed a scheme to defraud the U.S. Department of Agriculture through SNAP. From January 2008 to September 2013, Joysa and Willie would overcharge SNAP recipients' EBT cards at their business and transfer the money to a bank account outside of Guam. Court documents state they acquired at least $560,000 in benefits from the SNAP program. During yesterday's hearing, Joysa's attorney requested a departure for sentencing as she brought up concerns regarding his health issues. Tidinko Gatewood decided to reschedule the hearing so Joysa would have time to procure the health documents. Sentencing is set for December 27. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid, go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
The Guam Ancestral Lands Commission may be looking into obtaining independent legal counsel following concerns over a 2020 settlement agreement that the government entered into without consulting the commission. The settlement resulted in the dismissal of several land or lease-related government lawsuits that span back more than a decade, including a 2009 suit involving administrators of the estate of Jose Martinez Torres and initially Kil Kuyun, who had purchased lots from the estate for about $21 million. At a meeting yesterday, GALC Executive Director John Birch stated that he could not find anything in the law restricting the commission from hiring independent counsel, but Assistant AG Nicholas Toft says he needs to look up the ruling and provide the decision to the commission. And the Salvation Army Lighthouse Recovery Center for Women is projected to reach 45% completion by the end of the year. The center is intended to help women recover from substance abuse. Women often face additional challenges when seeking treatment, such as concerns for their children. GURA contracted out the $2.35 million federally funded construction project to inland builders in 2020, but the COVID-19 pandemic and related government shutdowns delayed the project. Delays in the arrival of H-2B workers had impacted construction progress. GURA Architectural and Engineering Manager Sonny Perez told commissioners at a board meeting on Friday that H-2B workers had arrived and the foundation pouring took place over the weekend. The facility was initially slated for completion in November, but the deadline was extended to March 2023. And those were your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Well, I was just checking out who's on Facebook now, and this is Tammy Post Office is online.
Oh, yay. Morning, Tammy.
How are you doing up there at the post office? You know, I haven't gotten a yellow card. We don't really have a post office box, but I haven't gotten a yellow card in a long time, and I'm not expecting a whole lot of deliveries headed in my direction, seriously, at this time of year. So I'm just kind of curious. How are the lines? How are things looking at the post? Have you had to go recently?
No, I'm staying away.
See, you've minimized your life. You've minimized your life infrastructure.
Absolutely have to go there.
Right. So we don't even need stamps anymore. I don't send anybody anything that requires it. I got a thing from the bank the other day, and it was like, oh yeah, you got to respond by such and such, and if you want this really really great deal on a credit card or something like that, and I looked at it, and it would have the return envelope would have required me to put a stamp on it. So yeah, never mind that credit card. I don't need that. I don't need access to cheap money in my life. Get out of here with that noise, because it would require the trip, and I'm just not ready for it. What about you? Well, you've got kind of post office in your genetics, right?
Sort of.
In your hustle thing, the side hustly thing.
Yeah.
So how is it busy? You know, I mean, getting back and forth. Somebody comes in and says, "Can you mail this for me?"
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about like stuff coming in?
There's a lot of stuff coming in.
How crazy, tired, and oh my God, does your mail? Because I'm sure you've got a regular mail person, right?
Yeah.
See the same guy all the time?
Yeah, it's the same woman.
Oh, same woman.
Same
Okay.
woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
I think it's been really busy there because for the past couple of days, like the mail has been a little bit later than usual. And I was driving around last night and I saw like the delivery trucks were still out.
Still out playing.
Yeah.
So even on Saturdays, like I told you, I went to Southern Mountain Gear to pick up some stuff on Saturday, and the mail guy was making his rounds that Saturday morning, you know, hauling boxes up and taking boxes down.
Yeah, I think sometimes they deliver on Sunday too.
I'll bet you if it's anything like in years past, you might have, keep your fingers crossed, you know, if you're waiting for something to come in the mail, just because it's Christmas morning and it's not there doesn't mean it ain't coming. I remember receiving boxes on Christmas Day a few years ago, and one in particular saved Christmas because the thing that the boy wanted really, really bad was in that Christmas Day delivery.
Yay.
It was a BB-8.
A what?
What?
Oh.
I'm sorry, Star Wars reference. Sorry, it was a BB-8.
Oh, that little orange and white thing, right?
Yeah, the remote control one.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. That's why I bought it, and it came on Christmas Day. Thank you very much, Tammy, and everybody at Tammy Post Office for helping out here today. I got 8:13 in the morning. I also mentioned Randy Landis a little bit ago, and Randy, now I can't remember what I know him from, how I know him from before, pickleball. I just know now he is my pickleball guy. Whenever I see pickleball story, I'm thinking, Randy Landis. I see the name Randy Landis, I'm thinking, I wonder what's happening in the world of pickleball today. And I actually have a story. Wait a second, that's not it. There it is. This was a story about a hunger crisis coming. But more happy news here first. As pickleball surges in popularity, Major League Pickleball. It's a thing. Major League Pickleball, the pro circuit that counts LeBron James and Tom Brady among team owners, is planning a massive expansion soon. MLP plans to double its number of teams. Right now there's 12. They will go to 24 events. They've got 3. There will be 6 next year. Teams include both men and women. They will announce today that Brian Levine, a former Goldman Sachs partner and top senior pickleball player, will be the interim CEO of Major League Pickleball. A combination of tennis, badminton, ping pong. You've seen it over at the Tamuning Courts. Levine tells us MLP will offer $3 to $5 million in prize money and payouts in 2023. So the question that I have, considering that there seems to be a whole lot of a democratization of pickleball. It's super accessible, easy to play, easy to master in a lot of cases. I'm wondering if there are possibilities that there might be a pickleball team for Guam. Now, some of you are going to say, how are we going to play against pickleball teams from the States, New York, California, Texas, New Mexico, any number of other places? Would something like that be possible? I know that we've got pickleball up in Saipan. Is it possible that there could be some kind of a regional kind of pickleball league that is picked up through the entire Pacific? I'm saying all of that money that we blow on FestPac, wouldn't it be more fun if we blew it on pickleball instead?
Yes.
See what I mean? And you know what? That's less of me belly aching about Josh Tenorio wanting to spend money we don't have to impress people that don't live here. Let's put the money into sports. Let's put the money into pickleball. I'm sure Randy Landis is agreeing with me as I speak now. That already has a pickleball team from Guam. My son Derek is on. If they go to Saipan every other month for tournaments. Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Dave. I did not realize that. Okay, now it needs to spread Pacific wide. I mean, all the way to Hawaii and all the way to those little islands, Palau, Yap, etc., and make sure that we've got, kind of our regional league going on here. Mostly sunny in the forecast today, highs near 87 degrees. Winds from the east up to 18 miles an hour. Might see some gusts as high as 24. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and overnight lows of about 77 degrees. Partly sunny tomorrow, mostly cloudy tomorrow night, mostly cloudy on Thursday. Scattered showers over the next couple of days can be expected. Heat index going to make it feel like 32 degrees here. And if you're looking for a sunset, I got a picture up on the screen. This is not sunset. This is sunrise from Uncle Ted's Ranch this morning at 6:38. But if you face the opposite direction, might see about the same thing. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:58. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on The Point.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuni. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut Home Water Softener System for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
How about portions of the program brought to you by APL? That's American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the guys over at NutroWays. You can find them up in Dededo. And you'll find that they're interested in the same thing that you are. Long and happy and prosperous life for you. All the tools that you need there, water purifiers, air purifiers, etc. Find them on the second floor of the Daily Plaza building in Dededo. If you need directions, call them up on the phone. 864-7867. That's 864-7867.
Morning talk that matters. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I got to do a couple of things to make sure I'm adequately prepared for the next segment of the program. I'm going to be talking to one of my favorite guys. It's a food conversation. It's Christmas week, and we ought to be talking about food. We got to be talking about some great tasting, good for you food that is easy to get and easy to pay for. And the next big deal is going to be Taco Tuesdays at Chili's. You can find them second floor of the Tumon Sands building in Tumon. I'll tell you about that while I put the image up on the screens so that you can see the goodness that they are preparing for you here today. And to take me through that story, my very close friend, dear personal friend, Marcus Fong. Good morning, Marcus. How you doing?
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Guam.
So excited. There's going to be another Taco Tuesday, and right before Christmas, when I don't have money for anything else, I can still afford a bunch of tacos over at Chili's.
Backed by popular demand.
Is this going to be a monthly thing?
You know, we haven't committed to that, but so far October, November, December has been, so it's not unlikely that we may carry this tradition on to 2023.
I think there's be a lot of people that would enjoy it. As you say, popular demand. I was there for the first one and was blown away by the number of people that were willing to sit around outside and ride the escalator up and down until it was time to go inside and get their share of the tacos. All tacos are just $2 each. That's why it's called Taco Tuesday, in addition to the fact that they have these things on Tuesdays. A bunch of different flavors that are loaded into this. What's the menu look like?
We're doing the same thing, so we still got the shrimp, we've got the chicken, and then, of course, we've got the fajita beef.
So you can order any combination. You can have all three of them fajita beef, or all three of them are chicken, or mix and match any way you want to, and the guys will send the order to the back, and it will come out piping hot and loaded with all your favorite toppings.
Yep, that's the idea.
And
down packed to a science.
And again, they're only $2 each. I mean, literally, you just sit there and eat these things, like sushi or something like that. You just pile up the containers, and at the end of it, you feel how full you are, and you go, that might have only cost me about $12. I think it's a great deal and absolutely perfect in these holiday times where people are trying to stretch their budget as much as possible.
Yeah, and the thing people really like about it, too, is if you order a margarita, you get your first taco free.
See,
so you even save that $2.
See, so there's a whole lot going on. What time does this start?
We open at 11, so from opening all the way till we close at 9, all day.
All right, I kind of like the idea. As you know, I'm part of a taco and hot tub group, and I'm trying to convince them. They were all talking about getting together on Thursday, and I'm going, dudes, tonight over at Chili's. We were there before. We ought to go back again and check the thing out. They're not going to cost us a whole lot of money. They are great tacos, and the service. You can't beat the service over at Chili's.
Oh, our crew's amazing. They like I said, they've got this down to a science, from the heart of house folks all the way to the front of house folks. They're just superb.
Now, that's not the only thing on the menu. The regular menu is still available, right?
Yes, absolutely. The full menu is available. Our $15 meal deals are available. Everything here, but of course, today the star are the tacos.
Okay, and how are we doing with the new local flavors that you guys have been pushing out in the last couple of weeks?
That's been very well received. A lot of people have come in. They like the flavors with a Chili's twist on it, so we're not just doing the local menu. You can still get the chicken leg, you can still get the ribs, you can still get your Chili's favorites like the fajitas, but in a stir fry. So it's been real interesting, and people have liked it.
All right. Well, one last thing on this, because I got the read, and it talks about Denancy glazed chicken, roast chicken, and ribs. Does that mean I'm getting a plate with roast chicken and ribs?
No, so they're two separate dishes.
All right,
but
thanks.
I don't see why you couldn't add it on. We wouldn't say no. We'll find a way.
Exactly. Cut and pico wings, Southern Tanak Tack. We've got sizzling stir fry and plenty more over at Chili's. Now, just real quick, let me just switch gears. I got to tell you, I had a number 4 at Subway last week. This is another restaurant that Marcus is responsible for. I had a number 4, and it was a foot long, and I thought I'll have 6 inches now, and then I'll stick it in the fridge, and then maybe later on a snack I'll have the other 6 inches, and couldn't help myself. I devoured the entire thing in one sitting. Oh my God, Marcus, that's so good.
So I was waiting for you to try that, because I know as a BMT fan, I thought number 4 was going to be the great substitute or a great upgrade to it.
Do you want to talk about an upgrade? I mean, just the sheer amount of additional meat that you get with the sandwich.
And that one, I believe, comes with the new capicola meat, so that's a new taste profile to it.
Well, I tell you what, it seems to me like everything you guys are touching these days is turning to gold, so keep it up. Best wishes for a great Christmas holiday, and looking forward to continuing to work with you and the crew at Glimpses for 2023.
Thank you, sir. Love talking to you.
All right. Well, you might see me later.
Look forward to it.
Might see me later, and then I'll bug you about how we're doing. Maybe 2023 will be the year of the return of the foremost orange drink.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. All right. That's actually pretty hopeful. I'll talk to you pretty soon, and Merry Christmas, Marcus.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
And 823 Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be anymore. How about that? Grab them while they're hot. Taco Tuesday, because the tacos are $2 over at the Chili's place. So go and take advantage of that. Fun starts at it. So the trick is, there's not much of a trick. I mean, here's the deal. It's all right in front of you. It's $2 for tacos, and they're very good tacos, and they're loaded with the meat and all of the extras that you get on top of that. You want different kinds of sauces. That's cool. They can work that out for you. And the people, as he says, are really, really good. I mean, the guy that I had, was able to remember all of the different variations on all of the different orders. There must have been a dozen of us sitting around a couple of tables when we were there. And he's walking around, and I'm going, dude's not writing anything down, right? So, how are people doing their combos? And he got them all right. And I thought that was very, very rigid. That was very cool. Now, 8:24 in the morning. On the Ray Gibson Show. So try that out if you get a chance. 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. And a bunch of stuff that is on the table of contents that I'm reaching for here this morning. One of them is kind of alarming. And, now I think more than any other time, because the systems are still quite delicate after COVID-19. Is it me, or does it feel like any little change, any little hiccup could lead to supply chain issues or long-term impacts on whatever it is that we need? Chips for the cars, chips to eat, corn, rice, all these things that people grow. And here's just something I want you to be aware of. I'm not throwing this out here like it's fear porn. Maybe somebody else is doing it. But, based on the news and headlines about weather that we're seeing across the country and around the world, maybe there's something to it. A hunger crisis is deepening for millions of U.S. households as they face the fallout of recent severe storms and extreme winter weather that is still expected ahead of where we are now. Just because we're close to Christmas and New Year's doesn't mean it's the coldest it's going to be this winter time. 33 million Americans live in food-insecure households, according to guys over at the USDA. COO of the nonprofit Food Rescue US tells us that many agencies that help the hungry closed when the pandemic began. Many of them have yet to reopen. The looming cold snap could hurt crops in the winter wheat zone. So wheat, and we've already seen incredible prices for anything that has wheat in it. Cupcakes and sandwiches and all of that stuff. You hear from your friends over at the bakeries, and they'll tell you that the costs have gone up because virtually everything in their supply chain has seen an increase. Butters and eggs and wheats and all of the things that conspire to make breads and bread-like things.
Price of a donut, Ray. Oh my God.
How are they managing to keep that? So they come in fancier boxes now, bro. I'll tell you what, you get some of the price on donuts you see, they ought to come in Tiffany boxes, right? With little wrapping and whatever.
Really nice.
Exactly. 827. So keep that in mind as the prices continue to rise, and do whatever you can to be able to hold on to as much of your grocery store expenditures as possible. And there's a couple of stories that are companion to that. I've actually had them for about a week and just haven't had the opportunity to read them. I think this morning being a little bit slower than most days. There's a possibility I might get to those. And one of the bigger problems that we are having here is that there is so much food waste that's going on. And it's going on even here. I mean, you think about all of those bags of food that people picked up when it was the COVID times. And imagine how much of that got wasted. Maybe there was stuff in there that the kids wouldn't eat, and you left the orange or the apple out too long, and it kind of lost its flavor, lost its firmness, and ended up getting thrown away. You pass by schools, cafeteria lunches, things like that. How much of that gets thrown away on a regular basis? How much of what you have in your refrigerator is going to get thrown away? And if you're anything like me, there's a really, really good chance that with the best of intentions, you got yourself a bag of salad. Is that $5, $6 now? And I'm going to eat salad for breakfast. I'll eat salad for lunch. I'm going to eat salad for dinner. I'm going to become Joe Healthy, and that's all there is to it. I will become a Superman of salad, and maybe you'll have one. Maybe you'll have one salad. To the outside, maybe you'll have a couple, and we'll start to use some of the greens in sandwiches. But, at the end of the day, you end up looking at least half of it that gets thrown out. And then the other one is, how many things are you going to throw out because it's past its expiration date? And that is a serious problem, according to some of these people that are watching out for this kind of thing. That is a major problem that we are having in this country, is you've got these labels on food that people don't really understand, and none of it means that the food has an expiration date. Now, you see a jar of honey that's got an expiration date on it. What the hell? Yeah, honey literally will last forever. They find honey jars in the catacombs and in the tombs in Egypt, and the honey in it tastes just as good today as it did when they buried the guy in it, Tutankhamun or whoever it was. So why do these things come with expiration dates on it? And a lot of it has to do with inside the store marketing, and absolutely nothing to do with you as a consumer. Look, if they're still selling it, then it must still be good. So why throw it out? Now, there are times where you look at it and say, this obviously needs to get thrown out. The bread has mold on it.
Still good, Ray.
No, actually, as it turns out, I know a lot of people do that. They'll just cut off the moldy parts. But the end of the day, this is the thing I learned recently, is the mold spores that you cannot see are already all over the bread.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's added value, if you will. I don't know that it contributes much. I don't know that it's bad for you necessarily. They say it's bad and you shouldn't eat it.
That's probiotics, Ray.
But if you just just cut off the moldy parts, it's okay. Actually, maybe not. Microscopic covering on your things. So obviously, the things that need to get thrown out need to get thrown out. But otherwise, there's a very, very good chance that about 50% of the things that you throw away, you can still eat. You know what an even bigger problem is?
What?
Is we have expectations of what our food is supposed to look like. Like an avocado comes in the avocado shape, and if anything different, I'm not buying it. Right? And they say that there's an incredible amount of food that's just ugly. It's just as good for you, just as nutritious, just as tasty. But because it looks deformed from the tree, from the growing process, they don't sell those with everything else. They toss them out. As there's a growing number of people that are saying we need to educate consumers that just because it's ugly doesn't mean you can't eat it. Because if that was the case, there's a whole bunch of ugly food that I see in the stores that I never, ever, ever want to touch with your hands. It's 8:31 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. 888-8255. 888-TALK is the telephone number. Meme Machine is online at 797-8255. And, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, dying to hear what it is that you've got to say about stuff on the program, stuff I'm talking about, stuff you and your friends are talking about. Go ahead and throw them online. It's all riff-worthy, as they say. Now, you got to break away with news and headlines. We'll take a look at celebrity birthdays and things to celebrate as the Ray Gibson Show continues.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
Chef Taka serves up his take on traditional Japanese dishes. Taka also features a sushi bar using only the freshest seafood. Nigiri, sushi rolls, and sashimi made to order straight to your table. Lunch specials available, served with rice, salad, and soup with savory dishes like tonteki pork chop, which is an island favorite. Dinners is izakaya style, so you may enjoy a variety of items. Come on down today to Taka Restaurant to experience traditional Japanese cuisine served up by Chef Taka. Located in Tamuning next to First Hawaiian Bank, call 671-969-8252 today. That's 969-TAKA.
I will be dining there soon. I will post pictures and give you stories on the radio. In the meantime, it's 8:33. Donna D has got that last big look at news and headlines. You about ready to go? Yeah, you okay? Are you Amazon or eBay now? Are you, what?
How do you know?
Because it's, there's a look of how do I want to say this? You just look like you're concentrating. You're focused a little bit more. There's more. There's an intense look about you.
I feel like you could see the reflection of my laptop. Because how did you know I was on eBay?
Well, because we've been talking about eBay all morning long, and I thought,
I didn't even notice.
Well, because I was looking at the stocks. We were looking at the numbers here. What's going on? and eBay is in the top 5 on the Nasdaq today.
I didn't even hear that part.
I finished all my shopping in the last 5 minutes
just by doing eBay. And I was talking about how I have not been on eBay in like forever.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Well, it's okay. You were out doing some other radio station stuff. So I was just kind of, wow, how about all of that? And that led to a conversation about why I like Amazon more, because I don't have to worry about losing any eBay the auctions.
Oh yeah,
which I hate. because they've got technology, right? They got those little sniping machines where at the very last, literally the last second of an auction, somebody can come in and outbid you, which sucks.
Yes.
Because you're up the auctions all end in the middle of the night Guam time. So you're up early, you're watching the thing. Oh my God, am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? I'm going to get it. And you waited a week for the auction to end, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's gone. And then you got to start the process all over again.
Was it a collectible?
They're always collectibles. So my great-grandfather was a postmaster, and he hand-canceled and signed a number of really important covers, if you will. They're envelopes with important covers like, the first clipper ship that brought mail to Guam, first airmail ever to Guam, that kind of thing. And he hand-canceled them and signed them. And I've been trying to buy up, I have a few, but I want to buy up as many as I possibly can. And put them back into the fold of the family.
That's interesting.
It is kind of an interesting thing. At any rate, Tammy Post Office, while we're talking about postal matters, says we are bringing in several charters this season. I would say the busiest peak season ever. Really, my crew is amazing. They're working 12-plus hours a day to move the mail. I'm so grateful for the support that they give me and their dedication to our island community. Please thank your mail carriers and your clerks because they are working extra hard for you.
Thanks, Marie.
I thought we were bringing in max charters back during the COVID times, but apparently that trend has continued, and so all of the extra planes that you see landing on Guam, they're not filled with Japanese and they're not filled with Koreans. They're filled with your mail and your Christmas presents at that. And now with other news and information, here's Donna Diavo. Donna, what happened?
A man was rushed to GRMC and is currently on life support after being hit by a car in Dedido early yesterday morning along Marine Corps Drive and Wustick Road. The crash resulted in police temporarily closing all southbound lanes. The pedestrian has not been identified. Guam Highway Patrol officers are investigating. And Atanasio Taitino Perez, Guam's first postmaster, a longtime public servant during the island's naval era, and an advocate for Chamorro citizenship, was honored in October after the Hagåtña post office was renamed. Yesterday, Congressman Mike Sinicolas presented his family with an official copy of the law that renamed the post office, signed by President Joe Biden. And the 36th Guam legislature will be returning to session one last time. Senators were able to pass 21 bills and shared some farewell remarks last Friday. But just before they were set to end, Senator Talina Nelson motioned to recess until 10 o'clock on December 29 so that the body can entertain any other items on the agenda or any actions taken on the bills that were submitted to the governor, who has made clear that she will veto the Heartbeat Act. Adalup confirms that she has until December 28 to do so. And that was your last look at local headlines. On the Point now, back to Ray.
Yeah, I'm clicking on something and I'm waiting for the internet to kick in so I can see what the big deal is. Yes. Click that. I thought I'd printed it out, but apparently I haven't. All right, celebrity birthdays today. Are you ready? Okay. Peter Criss.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Pete.
All right, and who was Peter Criss?
I've never heard of him.
He's the drummer from Kiss.
Oh yeah, the one-armed drummer.
No, that's the guy. That's the guy from Def Leppard.
Okay.
Sorry. Sandra Lee is 52, and it's another name that you might not know unless I clue you in. Yeah, Sarah Lee is 52. She is Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's her. You've seen that on the YouTubes, right?
Oddly satisfying.
It's a crazy kind of wow. I can't believe there's so much crap coming out of that.
I like the blackheads, but I don't like the cysts.
Hey, what's for breakfast? What is that? What is that? Pudding? Is that butter? What are we putting on?
Yeah, you're right. That's why.
That's kind of gross.
Wondering, like, why do I feel so grossed out by the cysts?
Todd Phillips, the Joker, is 52 years old. Jonah Hill from Don't Look Up turns 39. If you're looking for something to celebrate, it is Games Day. Favorite game, go, of all time. Not just computer games, favorite game of all time.
You mean like board game?
Any kind of game. Any kind of game. Card game, board game, video games.
Pull my finger.
That's always, you know what, there's never not a time where that's not funny. Never not a time where that's not funny. Go ahead. Come on, games. I know you play.
I don't want to say.
Okay, all right. So I will. Ray Gibson's favorite game of all time is the Tomb Raider. Any Tomb Raider. Absolutely loved them. And yeah.
Okay. So like every version of Tomb Raider that's ever going to come out, you're going to buy?
No, the new ones. Anything in the last 10 years or so, because they used to have the 8 and 16-bit versions of them, and I was never a big fan. Then there was. Have you ever played Prince of Persia?
No.
You've never played Prince of Persia?
No.
Oh my God! All right, so if you ever get a chance, that's like my number 2. So if for me for games, it's Tomb Raider or Prince of Persia. And there's something about for me, Prince of Persia, it's all about the motion, and they did such an outstanding job in the initial versions of Prince of Persia. But as the franchise developed over the years, the motion and the graphics were always very, very cool, but they got into a great kind of storytelling.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, what kind of game is that? Role play?
Yeah, kind of.
Like Zelda?
Something along those lines. Okay. There's a princess and you got to rescue her.
Okay.
Is the basic?
So like
isn't
Mario?
it of all games? Of all
Mario.
games, yeah. There's a princess. My princess is Joe, and Joe needs rescue.
Oh my gosh.
So it's your favorite game? Tiddlywinks?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Go Caroling Day, Sangria Day, and now if I say Sangria,
what is that?
You don't know what Sangria is?
It's like wine, right?
Yeah, wine and 7-Up.
It's a blend.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Oh.
There's one guy. Is it Antonio used to work over at TJ's in Hyatt years ago when it was Cafe Havana. Yeah, and he made a great sangria. They tell me I've never had one, but I see the sangria pitcher over at Mosa's get refilled and recreated on a regular basis. So I'm going to assume that they make a good one as well. I've got a sangria thing from Dr. Sambini.
Yeah,
I've got, and it looks like it's a head. It's not a skull. It's a head.
Picture.
So what is it? A kit?
It's
or
a
is
kit.
it just
It's a kit. And then you put the booze in it and you leave it around for, leave it outside in the sun for a day. And then you come back out and strain all of the ingredients on the inside of it. And that's supposed to be the perfect sangria. But I'm afraid, I'm very afraid. It's Sacagawea Day. Anybody remember Sacagawea?
Oh, yeah, the Indian lady.
Yeah, that's all we know about it, right? It was on $1, right? It was on a dollar coin. And that's all we know about Sacagawea because we just, we're not easy to colonize, us people here. And we're have a hard enough time with our own culture and our own history. Why do you have to foist this on us? Can we have our own money? And by the way, can we just start working on minting our own stuff?
No.
8:41 in the morning. Might be a couple of other things that I might read to you from yesterday. Tailgating makes traffic worse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to
Is
Guam.
that a day?
What's
a special day?
Tailgating day.
Tailgating.
Oh my!
Day.
Every day is tailgating day on Guam, and I'm the one that likes to think that all the cars in front of me are going slow, because most of the time they are. Because I live just off Roy T. Damien, which means I've got one of two things that's going to be happening. I've got a guy in a lowrider truck that makes way too much noise, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, the
but
bumps.
at least he's going fast, right? At least the guy's going a little bit faster than the average bear. Or I'm behind somebody who's just has always been uncomfortable driving anywhere over about 15 miles an hour. And the problem with Roy T. Damien is there's not a whole lot of good spots there where you can pass the guy, even though they're only going 15 miles an hour. Too many curves, too many dips. 8:42 in the morning. What are you going to do for the rest of the day, Donna?
Work.
There you go. Real Joe, I'm going to take a break here. Donna's going to jam, and we'll get back to more of whatever it is that I'm doing on The Ray Gibson Show.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutriWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutriWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you win up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, Foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, Foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
I wasn't sure. It sounded like there was nothing in the background there. Fortunately, we've got a real high-end system.
Oh, yeah,
We've got really good ears.
Merry Christmas, man.
Well, thank you very much. 8:43 in the morning. 888-8255-888-TALK. I have those humbug moments I got those humbug moments. I got an invitation to go hang out with some friends over the weekend at a kind of a swimming pool resort place that shall remain nameless. What do you mean, why? Because it was Sunday, and everybody said,
Interrogate him.
Yeah, let's go hang out over here Sunday. And there's me. And I said, are the kids going to be there? And they said, yeah. And I said, I don't want to go. And it's not that I don't like kids. It just I could feel myself automatically going into parent mode. And you know, when I'm in parent mode, I yell at kids, even though they're not mine. And that makes for some unhealthy misunderstanding. So I just, the kids are going to be there. I say, go have a good time and call me when you're old. Then and
Say
everybody
you don't
needs
like
to get...
kids without saying you don't like kids.
Exactly, because I will humbug and turn into that old guy. Hey, what are you trying to kill yourself? What are you, stupid? And then I get the mom going. Did you just call my kid stupid? And I said, no. I asked if they were stupid. There's a difference. There's a subtle difference, but it's there. 8:45 on the Ray Gibson Show. I was earlier talking about what is this, expiration dates. Nate Horn sent me this, and it's a meme. You've seen it before. Just my luck. 250 million-year-old salt, and it expires next year. And it's literally that. It's salt formed by the primal sea more than 250 million years ago. 100% uncontaminated. It's 250 million years old, and it has an expiration date of January 20th, 2019. And you just go, really? Now, maybe we've gone a little bit overboard with this. At Jury Pool J, and for every day at the jury pool, every table has a bottle of hand sanitizer on it.
Yes.
And I'd complained because mine was expired. In fact, I checked. Yeah. Most of them are expired. And the little girl that's in charge of Jury Pool J, she had a smart-ass answer.
Of course.
Which was,
she's short.
Oh, it's just the bottle. We've replaced the contents.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, you did. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, you told him.
Whatever. Thank you very much. What? So can you explain to me why my hand sanitizer stinks so bad? Because most huh? So yeah, some of them there's stuff that they put in there in addition to whatever the rubbing alcohol or whatever the majority of the hand sanitizer thing is. And there was once upon a time they put something in there that gave it a little bit of a fragrance. Apparently that's gone bad because you start cleaning your hands with this stuff. And the first day everybody squeeze it. Oh, look at the hand sanitizer. You got hand sanitizer. And every 10 or 15 minutes, just out of sheer boredom, you'd hand sanitize. But after a while, everybody. Oh, my God, what the? This is bad news. And so that I'm aware of, nobody is touching the hand sanitizers at Jury Pool J. 8:46 in the morning. Hey, my buddy Mark's on the line. What's up, Mark?
Yeah, so that's what happens when you buy hand sanitizer from the lowest bidder.
Amen to that, yes. And oddly, it's from Wuhan, China.
Yeah, see?
Even.
That's why it stinks. That's why it stinks. They've got, they figure, well, we're going to make money on both sides. We're going to make everybody sick, and they're going to try and keep everybody healthy, but, make it stink.
There was a story. Go ahead.
No, the reason why Donna hates sis is because they remind her of chicken breasts.
It reminds her of chicken breasts?
Yeah, have you ever seen sometimes when they cut out the cyst on Dr. Pimple Popper, it comes out and it looks like boneless, skinless chicken breast.
Oh, my God. I've yet to experience an entire episode. I think Real Joe just left the room. I think he's going to go vomit. I've yet to enjoy an entire episode of Dr. Pimple Popper. Every once in a while, TikTok, Instagram or something, somebody will put up a reel of that kind of thing. And it's one of those where I try to get them off the screen as quickly as possible so I don't become a victim of the algorithms. And then that's all they send you is pictures of gross things coming out of pores of the human body.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. But hey, the other thing is, favorite game, Halo, hands down.
Oh.
Halo and then Assassin's Creed.
I've only ever played Halo. I had it at the house, but that was like Mason's game, and the guy could be, just got an incredible aptitude for games. He could pick it up and then master it 6 hours later. So I never got into that. I did get into. There was a group called Red versus Blue, and it was a bunch of guys they were all over YouTube, and what they did was they took footage from the Halo game and then changed all of the lyrics. They changed all of the and so they'd have these conversations, and I play them on the radio. Except there's a couple that are actually kind of blue, and I can't get into that on the air. But I will say, go and find Red versus Blue. The original first, 10 or 15 episodes were the funniest. After that, they just kind of got campy.
Yeah, no, I'm totally familiar with it. Red versus Blue is hilarious.
Oh, it absolutely was. And they'd only come out with a new episode, like once a week or something. So it was almost appointment viewing. So you'd sit around and wait and go, okay, there's a new episode of Red versus Blue out there, and you sit there and watch it. And the craziest thing is, if you were into it, you were into it. If you weren't, you absolutely hated it. Ask Mika; she will remember having to sit through Red versus Blue and me giggling like an idiot, and her going, "Oh my God, how much longer do I have to watch this?"
Hey, the other thing was, I don't know, the other night, about a month ago, I sent you a text and it said, what, no invite? Did you wonder what that was?
No, I knew what it was. You passed by my house and I was having a taco party.
No, actually, it wasn't. I passed by your house. I was standing outside Uncle Jim's house, and we were talking about something because I had to pick up something from him. And this guy pulls up. He goes, excuse me, I don't mean to bother you, but would you happen to know where Ray Gibson lives? Yeah, go down that way before you hit Maglonia's Market. It's on the right.
Yep. As a matter, in fact, yeah, I think he came back in and mentioned he was lost in DeVille and couldn't find the place. Well, now everybody knows where it is, so that's cool. That's okay. I have an attack cat. Mark, I better let you go. Merry Christmas to you and the family.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know about if there's any jet skiing opportunities that we've got down there. 10 away from the top of the hour.
I'll WhatsApp you.
Right
I'll
on.
WhatsApp you.
Okay, I may not go because it's in Malesu, but I still want.
It's in Maddox.
Okay, all right. But I
save 2 minutes. Okay.
Depending on how fast I go, I might not go because it's down in the south, and with the price of gas and all of that.
Okay.
And all right, and I'll talk to you later. And then there's the idea. Well, we're gonna go jet ski. Jet ski and beer, they go together like handguns and beer, right? Yeah, so I probably might want a couple, and then I got to worry about getting a designated driver and all of that kind of thing. 10 away from the top of the hour. Ray Gibson Show. A couple of things that I'm just going to mention them and then move on. It's not like, it's the greatest and most incredible news in the world, but I do want to let you know that maybe, is anybody maybe I'll just preface this. Is there any actual work going on right now? Is there anybody we're, quote, at work, but it's a radio show. It's not like we're heavy lifting or, you're expectation of a product that you're going to get from one of us before the close of business, right? So, but I'm just kind of curious. Is anybody productively involved in some kind of work here today? I'm going to assume that, people at coffee shops and the retail stores, Home Depot, whatever, mall, I assume that there's work going on. But like regular just office stuff, because I'm about to tell you about these webinars that you can do. They're absolutely free at Guam PTAC. Now, tomorrow, they've got one, cybersecurity, federal contractor responsibilities, because the last thing that we need is to have your laptops turn into something that looked like Hunter Biden's laptop, so they want to talk about security with you. Department of Defense vendors need to protect covered, unclassified information, and we'll discuss DoD's current requirements as well as the upcoming cybersecurity maturity model certification. That means something to people in the IT and in the construction or whatever trades that are working with the federal government. Closest thing I got to that was a note from a vendor, which naturally means that I've got to upgrade something, and they used a phrase that I'd never seen before, but I'm going to start using it again because it sounds like I'm a step forward, right, in the industries. They referred to something called IT hygiene, information technology hygiene. Now, how good are your systems? And we got a pretty good IT kuya attached to this company. And I'm not going to lay out any kind of challenges out there, but he's pretty good and has put a couple of layers of defense in front of us and in front of other companies that we're associated with that I'm quite proud of. So I would like to think that we've got a pretty good IT hygiene here at the shop, and I want to do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to make sure all of my systems are fairly safe in these crazy times. But I suppose the other part is because they were worried about my IT hygiene. They wanted to sell me new and improved box to the tune of about $4,000 because it's possible that the old one that might be suffering from, built-in impure IT might not be able to meet the federal requirements. How can you be sure? We've got a new box for you to buy. Most useless box in the building, but federal requirements require that I have one. 8:55 in the morning, 888-8255-888-TAL case. Anyway, you want information on this cybersecurity deal? Next week, they're going to be going over Government of Guam procurement. Guam PTAC will explain Government of Guam procurement laws and regulations, where to find opportunities, how to submit bids, and the best way to get the loopholes done. I'm sorry, that's not really in there. But I know guys. You want to do procurement with the Government of Guam and want to know really how it works, go and take this course and then talk to me, and I will point you in the directions of dudes that know really what time it is for all of that. 8:54 on the Ray Gibson Show. Is this still Tuesday? Are we still just doing Tuesday? Gotcha. And I haven't yet gone to the end of this story. I want to. I'm sorry. It feels like we've gotten to the small talk portion of the program today because everybody we want to talk to is out of town. So,
it's snowing.
It just, oh my God. Are you hearing from there? Because there was Guam and then there was COVID and there were a lot of people that said, crap, I'm leaving. I'm going to go live with my cousin in the States. And, so they moved lock, stock, and barrel. Everybody lives in the States now. And they're now undergoing their very first winter in the U.S. mainland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And learning about, snow.
And ice and slipping on your back.
So how many times, you get in the car and you look at all the buttons and the whistles and everything. You know what my car has? Heated seats.
Oh, my.
I have heated seats in the truck, right?
Oh, so good.
When you're in the States and the temperature is -10, you turn that thing on, you got the heater going, and you got this like little hot air coming up your butt, and you're going, oh my God, I'm living like a king. You don't necessarily need that here. I don't know if you really want it here. I remember when I picked up the car, it was Ernie Murphy, and Ernie was like, "Oh, you're going to love this feature because you're a runner. You're a runner, Ray, and you get in the car and your legs are tired, and maybe this is going to be the first part of the healing process after you run. We're going to you turn on the heater in the chair, and then we've got the heat will rise, and they will heat up your legs and your thighs and your buttock muscles, speeding you to recovery after your long distance run.
Lactic acid running out of your legs.
Yeah. Thanks, Vern. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, but this story here, the 3-day weekend, and we've got a couple coming up this weekend. Christmas holiday Monday is going to be off. This week, next weekend is going to be New Year's holiday. Monday is going to be off there, and I'm wondering how many businesses. It's probably a small list if it exists at all. Will be using the coming 3-day weekends as a way to launch into or at least observe your employees' habits. Will they change? Will they be, in the 4 days that they are at work, productive, efficient? Will they be happier as a result of having the 3 days? And the question now that is being answered in all kinds of places is, what if we went to a 4-day work week? Now, there are companies here, I believe, that are already, I don't want to say that they have a 4-day work week, as much as they are working on Saturday and will have a midweek day off. There's a couple of shops that do that. But I'm not familiar with any companies that are out there doing a 4-day work week where you've got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, and then you spend the rest of the time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days, where you're actually involved in work. They say that this is having some incredible results. Companies that have the incentive to innovate and streamline their operations, firms offering the option to more easily attract new employees, a better work-life balance. A better work-life balance. You talk to Gen Zers and millennials, that's what they're all about, is work-life. I want to have an enjoyable career, feel like I'm doing something meaningful for the planet, but then I want to be able to enjoy hiking in the woods or being at the beach or swimming in the ocean, whatever it is, writing poetry. I'm learning the fine arts of macrame and decoupage. Right? That's how I'm creating this work-life balance. And maybe not for us, old farts, but maybe for the young guys, this is a big deal. Adam Bank And another outfit became two of the campaign success stories by confirming the shift has legitimately reduced employee work hours without reducing productivity. An executive at AWin, which is a major marketing firm, said the adoption of a 4-day work week has caused the business to operate at an even higher level. Adam Ross said that it's been one of the most transformative initiatives we've seen in the history of the company. It has led to increased employee wellness and well-being, while simultaneously allowing, customer service and relations have been improved, as well as talent relations and retentions. Being able to hold on to people longer that might easily burn out in a 5-day work week. Well, maybe that's going to be different in a 4-day work week where they've been able to strike a better, quote, work-life balance. So, you know how I am. I'm one of those guys, I'll come to work when I'm sick, and just kind of old school work ethic. But things are changing rapidly around us, and I'm wondering if businesses like yours might work out better and your employees last longer if you gave them the option of only coming to work 4 days a week. Ponder that while the news is playing. We're KUSG Aganya. They say we're peak is best. This is The Point.
This is a Fox News alert, a temporary extension for Title 42. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. 2 days before the end of those federal health restrictions at the border, Supreme Court's Chief Justice John Roberts has ordered the Biden administration not to end the policy, at least temporarily. The order gives the Biden administration until the close of business tomorrow to respond. Chris Cabrera, the vice president of the Border Patrol Council, tells Fox News Title 42 must continue.
We're already dealing with for the most part, open borders now and unprecedented groups coming into the country. And that's the one thing that's the single strand that's holding things together down here is Title 42.
Several Republican-led states had asked the Supreme Court to extend Title 42. The House January 6th committee asking the Justice Department to file charges against former President Trump.
As the country, we remain in strange and uncharted waters. We've never had a president of the United States stir up a violent attempt to block the transfer of power.
Committee Chairman Benny Thompson.
This was an unprecedented move by Congress to ask the DOJ to prosecute a former president. The charges: obstruction of Congress when certifying the Electoral College, conspiracy to defraud the government, lying, and helping an insurrection. The committee also went after John Eastman. Eastman is the attorney who drummed up the alternate elector theory. The committee says Eastman wanted states to send in electoral votes for former President Trump, which were not certified.
Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol reports the committee also referred to the House Ethics Committee, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, and Representatives Jim Jordan, Andy Biggs, and Scott Perry for ignoring committee subpoenas. Wall Street lower Monday, the Dow dropping 163 points, NASDAQ down 159, the S&P 500 35 points lower. America is listening to Fox News.
Half a day. Burger King fans rejoice. The new Italian Royal Crispy Chicken is now available. Crispy white meat breast filet topped with warm marinara sauce. Melty mozzarella cheese on a toasted brioche bun. Top this off with jalapeno bites and a refreshing Coke Zero. Of course, like all good things, the Italian Royal Chicken will only be available for a limited time. Happy holidays from your friends at BK in Tumon Bay, Hagåtña, the Micronesia Mall, and the airport. You rule.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Now.
Recapping this hour's Fox News alert, Supreme Court's Chief Justice John Roberts has temporarily ordered the Biden administration not to end Title 42 restrictions at the border and gives the White House 24 hours to respond. Russia's President Putin has ordered his forces to strengthen Russia's borders, calling fighting terrorism a top priority. Ukraine was among the topics as President Biden met Monday with Ecuador's president.
The president pledged to continue discussions on numerous topics, economy and security among them. Also,
we're going to keep building
building on the progress we've made. Together, we've made historic strides on migration.
Ecuador President Guillermo Lasso, through a translator, praised the growing partnership.
This is a great opportunity to come here and to reaffirm the democratic freedom and human rights values that we share with the glorious people of the U.S.
Presidents Biden and Lasso met and spoke one-on-one at the Summit of the Americas conference in Los Angeles last June. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
A huge fine is proposed for the parent company of a popular video game for violating children's privacy.
Epic Games, the developer of the online video game Fortnite, has agreed to pay $275 million in civil penalties as part of a settlement with the Justice Department and the Federal Trade Commission. The settlement, the Justice Department says, will resolve alleged violations of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Epic is accused of collecting personal information, including identifiers used to keep track of players' progress, and failing to notify parents it was collecting that data. If approved by a court, the $275 million penalty will be the largest ever imposed for violating the children's online privacy law. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
And I'm Jack Callahan. This is Fox News.
Chef Taka serves up his take on traditional Japanese dishes. Taka also features a sushi bar using only the freshest seafood. Nigiri, sushi rolls, and sashimi made to order straight to your table. Lunch specials available, served with rice, salad, and soup with savory dishes like tonteki pork chop, which is an island favorite. Dinner is izakaya style, so you may enjoy a variety of items. Come on down today to Taka Restaurant to experience traditional Japanese cuisine served up by Chef Taka. Located in Timuning next to First Hawaiian Bank, call us at 969-TAKA. That's 969-8252.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
I got it. Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the team over at APL, American President Lines. Carl Meyer is online here. He is paying attention to what's going on. Yeah, but he was very unclear about where he is. This is in parts unknown.
Yeah, it's classified.
So you're not the navigator, is what you're saying. It's always... there's maybe just jiggle the GPS thing and see what happens. Maybe you just got to tap it really hard on the side. So where are we? I don't know. Somewhere in the Pacific. Who's that? Show me their face.
Oh yeah, we got people.
I think we might have got people here in the program. 7 after is after 9 o'clock. I don't know. I know that we were going to entertain some folks from GRMC. Unfortunately, they've got some scheduling issues and weren't able to make. Come on in. There's my buddy James
Turbo.
Yeah, no, not Turbo. Turbio.
We used to call him Turbo.
Turbo
in high school.
I went to school with him. You guys are classmates.
Jim Turbo.
No, we've known each other for cable days from back up once upon a time. Anyway, so. Welcome to the program. Sorry, just good to have you in here. I was going through some stuff and actually reading an email that you sent to me about something coming up in, when is that going to be? February. February. Yeah, move the microphone. Can you remember being in the media business, right?
Yeah, camera, man.
I sort of remember. The hair's great.
And the camera.
Yeah, I want to see your
face,
face,
hair's great,
Jimmy.
but you know how that goes.
Whatever. It's we'll survive all of it at some point. You should just be happy that I've got. I just got. But before we get to this, it's one of my favorite couples anyway, and we need to talk about couples. Hi, Ray. Our IT Kuya, Jojo, is now the CIO, Chief Information Officer at Goodwin. It's his wife, Jennifer, or Jen Cortez's birthday today. And I got to tell you, it's funny to me. I don't know how funny it is to him or her, but every time I see them, I go, oh, JoJo and his daughter are here because she's so young looking. It's just unbelievable. JoJo, you are indeed a lucky man, and so blessings to you and your beautiful wife, Jen. And we'll use that to jump into a conversation that we're about to have now. As I said, James Turbio in the studio, and I got word that you guys are doing, I don't want to say it's a couples in Christ kind of marriage. There used to be these more sophisticated, or not more sophisticated, but maybe more well-known programs. You don't hear about them too much. Tell me about what it is that you're going to be up to.
Right. So part of the marriage ministry, Archdiocese of Agana, and really when we decide to get married.
They told you I was divorced twice, right?
Yeah, I know.
Before we booked the show? Okay.
No, I knew that already. I knew that already. But so basically, you decide to get married in the Catholic Church. You go through a program.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where we get involved. We meet with the couples. We go over just simple things that, with marriage as far as finances. We go over communication skills and so forth. And then on top of that, because you're getting married in the Catholic Church, in a Christian wedding, we help you to raise a Catholic Christian family, your children in the faith. And
all right. So this was the program, my first marriage that we went to. I don't want to say we had to go,
right.
But you ain't going to get this sacrament unless you take these steps. And so I remember we were meeting up in Agana Heights at the Archbishop's house, getting together up there for a bunch of opportunities to meet with the counselors and then meet other people that would be, as you say, kind of our guides. And yes. I remember the family. I want to say that they were Taitanos because they lived up at Mount Santa Rosa. And I remember going up there on a couple of occasions where we'd sit down and it was a grand experience to be with another couple, but in this case, a married couple. They'd been married for a while and spent a lot of time talking about the interaction of their marriage and how important the church was.
Right.
To that marriage. And I thought, well, this is very, very, it's good. It's important to know. You want to be as faithful as possible to the process.
Right.
And it's nice to have somebody around that will show you the ropes.
Yeah, it's fantastic because we have a program of dedicated couples all across the island. Different vicarious.
Well, how come I got Jigo then? How come anybody?
Well, back then I don't know. That was a while ago. So I but now we have couples really in the different villages and. So, part of the role that we do is we assign these couples to, the people that are going to.
Okay, so there is it's Love in Christ dinner event that is going to be taking place. And we'll go through some of this now. Right. But now that we've established the baseline for the conversation and who it is that are you looking to get more of these married couples in Christ people to add to the number of counselors that you might have, or is this just
Couples in Christ is actually another it's another entity. So we have marriage ministry, we have Couples for Christ, we have Marriage Encounter, all involved in this one event. I can speak to Couples for Christ because I'm in that too. But,
okay.
But Couples for Christ is a spiritual, another Catholic organization that kind of takes it to your daily life. So as you go into the program for marriage ministry, we help you in how to guide your family in the faith and stay in the faith. Couples for Christ helps you stay there.
Right. And not necessarily just, go to church every Sunday, right. but among the reasons why you would want to do that and other ways so that the faith is not just something that happens on the weekend, but it's with you 7 days a week.
And it's a community, so it's a community sense to where, you're with other couples and you're all doing the same thing.
You're all fighting about the same things.
Right,
the anxieties are all the same. And you'd be surprised about how many different, how common it is among married people, whether they're married in the church or not, the experiences that everybody has. But I think there are unique ways when you are a part of a faithful relationship where I think maybe that kind of invisible hand will help steer the rudder and find you to where you're supposed to be so you don't end up getting divorced.
Because I think that's why when couples go through the program, it's amazing is a lot of it is just the simple things like finances, talking about, whether you agree on things and so forth. And then the faith is really, again, the glue that binds you together.
Well, I always thought it was kind of fascinating. And finance, I'll tell you how to do this right now. I'll save you all kinds of heartache. 2 separate accounts. Everybody has their own account. She's got her money, she's got your money, and then you have your money, and that's all there is to it. You have your own credit cards, you have your own checking account, you keep your finances separate from the household. Obviously, it's important that we discuss what the goals for the house are. We're going to refinance this, or we're going to paint the roof, put an extension for mom, or we got kids coming, so we need to do this, that, and the other. It's important to have those conversations. But I think just in terms of the household finances, as much as you can, if you can keep that separated, it will in the end give you one less thing to fight about.
Right.
So you can fight about other things.
I think that, well, see, again, that works for certain people. And the great part about, being alive, right? Being us, is we're all wonderfully different, right? So if that's going to work for you, then great. That's something you decide together, right? And other couples, I mean, however you're going to handle your marriage, you're guided by God.
So this is kind of an interesting conversation because, the main event that we're talking about feels like it's so far off in the future. It's not going to be happening until around Valentine's Day next year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on purpose? Put it around Valentine's the 11th?
It's in coordination for National
February
Marriage,
11th?
National Marriage Week. And so, we just, what better way to do it than during that time of where people traditionally
are thinking about love. Are thinking about, can people that weren't married in the church show up?
Well, the thing is, we're not turning anybody away, but the celebration is, so let's say you have grandparents, right? Or you're a widower, or, we're celebrating marriage. So if you got that mindset, hey, come on down.
By all means. And while you were there, maybe talk to somebody about having your marriage put together in the church. There are a lot of people, for whatever reason, are enjoying civil marriages. And, hey, I could not do the marriage in the church. Why not? Not confirmed. Okay. Well, talk to these people, and then we'll talk about different ways that you can figure out what those hurdles are, and then go and do what I think most people ought to be doing, is trying to get married inside your faith.
Absolutely. I think through personal experience, a lot of the couples that I personally work with, me and my wife, they've actually gotten married civilly, and just decided
at some point you go, why not get married in the church?
Yeah,
nothing else standing in the way. What about people with so-called mixed marriages? I'm a Catholic, she's a Jew.
Again, if you want to celebrate, the sanctity of marriage,
So it didn't sound like you were going to get hit over the head with a whole lot of religious jargon and proselytizing.
Well, we're not the event is really to celebrate that. So it's mainly a dinner. We're going to have fun. We're going to, have people talk, but it's not like a conference or anything like that.
Can single guys go?
Single guys can go if you want to celebrate marriage.
Right, there might be some single guys.
That's why we're not
looking for single girls at the thing. You've already got a lot in common.
And couples like to set up people too. So
I heard. Do-gooders, as a matter of fact. So where's this going to take place? How do I get tickets?
Hotel Nico.
Nice.
February 11th, 6:30 to 10:30. But
play it loose.
6-ish, yeah. And then you can go to the Archdiocese, the Chancery office. Tickets are available there. Or if you're a little more modern, you can go to Eventbrite. You just have to look us up on Marriage Ministry Guam on Facebook, and there's a link there, and you can get all set up.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm giggling like Beavis and Butthead here. In the FAQ they sent under other information, there's special room rates over at the Nico. You say that you're there for the marriage event, and you will get and book early and often, but you will get a special rate on the rooms there, just in case you are so overwhelmed with the conversation that you find that you'd rather not drive, or maybe you'd like to enjoy a little bit more of some of the other benefits of being married.
Yeah, you don't have to worry, right? You just enjoy all you want, and again, there's a breakfast rate, and there's just a standard.
Yeah, Nico is a nice enough place, and it's far enough away from all kinds of other stuff, so that it's a good time, whatever the reason. And for this, it sounds like a whole lot of fun for married couples to take advantage of. Again, it comes to us from the Archdiocese and the Catholic Church, but it is not by any means any kind of roadblock for you. This is not a guardrail. Everybody show up, have a good time.
Turn away anybody.
Do I get any free stuff besides just showing up?
You're gonna have some things. There's some giveaways.
There's some takeaways.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I think that's important. How did you get involved?
I've always been involved in my parish, and basically we just asked.
They asked you. Hey, you're not talking on the radio.
Well, you're involved in the parish. I was lector, and then I do other things for the...
Plug those in. I got Jack's on the line. Wanted to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
Not entirely sure what the nature of the question is. Maybe it has to do with being, a part of a Catholic marriage, or maybe it has to do with politics. I don't know, because I've seen you running around with Chris Duenas once upon a time, and just kind of curious about all that. Good morning, Jack. Welcome to the program.
Well, good morning, and Merry Christmas. It's great to be coming out of the Advent season and heading into Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I support all the ministries of our faith, of course. But a disturbing thing happened yesterday. I received news that Father Frank Pavone was laicized, and I was wondering if you have an opinion, or have you heard about what happened to him, and what is the position of our archdiocese on the matter?
He was what? I'm sorry.
He was laicized.
I don't know what that means.
So basically, he's no longer a priest. He's part of the laity again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They call him Mr. now, but he's once a priest is always a priest.
Yeah, that's what we say. Yeah.
And he's the founder of Priest for Life. So I was just wondering if you have a comment or an opinion on the matter. And it was really disturbing to me coming out of the Advent season, because it happened on a Sunday on the stateside. But I know there's some articles on Jungle Watch, but I'm just getting my mail flooded in right now, and I'm just really a little bit disturbed. I was wondering what your opinion on it, and whether you have a take on it, and what are possibly our archdiocese opinion on the matter.
Well, he doesn't speak for the archdiocese that I know of, but I'm sure personally you might have a thought in your head one way or the other.
It's a tough situation, because for me personally, I've always the type of person I am. I'm very much part of the organization, right? And so something like this doesn't happen, willy-nilly. Right? This is a very serious thing to laicize someone. So
yeah, and the problem that's disturbing is that it can't be appealed. So
yeah, it can't be.
That was I was reading it. I read the nuncio, and it just really didn't make much sense to me. I understand the charges of blasphemy and what he's accused of, but did it amount to being him defrocked and laicized? I don't think so. There's a lot. I mean, it's just my personal judgment. There's a lot of worse public figure priests that deserved it, but to find him in this predicament, coming into the Christmas season, I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with it. But I just wanted you to see what someone that's in the fold that might not be connected, but the ministries of Christ is the ministry of our church are also connected. We usually travel in the same groups, but I just wanted to see whether or not the island folks and people of faith have responded, or what their take on it. But I do appreciate the ministry. I've always observed your ministry from afar. Because it's in February, I don't have time to attend it, but I support your work.
Buy tickets and give them to somebody that you know.
Yeah, it's a good gift too.
Yeah.
Good gift.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Back at you. I'll talk to you pretty soon. I'd suggest maybe just a call later on this afternoon. I don't know that he'll have other information. But Jose Martinez, producer for Tall Tales,
good friend of mine. Too.
Font of information, and he might be able to help you. And as I say, if you find yourself in a moment of crisis, this happens. Well, there's always praying. You can all just go into the prayer room.
I'm just catching up the Bob's shows right now. They're on the archive, and I'm just like about a week or two behind. So I listen to it on the replay, just like your show, as I can. But it was just a shocking news yesterday. Yes. And why is my email full? But anyways, God bless to all, and Merry Christmas.
You too, Jack. Appreciate the telephone call, and it's at 9:22 in the morning. So much happens, and these are very, very dramatic times in what I would refer to as our church, even though I'm not as practiced as most Catholics are.
Right.
I check the building's made of concrete, so when I'm ready, it'll be ready for me.
Sure, yes.
And which is always the thing. There might be other questions that come up from folks about okay, so I was married in civil service, and I'd like to get married in the church. How do we do that? Some of those questions can be answered. Other questions might include, well, I was married in the church. It didn't work out. I got a divorce, but was never able to annul that. And but I'd like to have the opportunity to get that sacrament again in this lifetime. Do you know? I mean, is it any? I hate to throw this just kind of out at you. I mean, do you know if it's gotten any easier to have a marriage annulled?
I don't know. It's gotten easier.
I don't think it's ever been easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody got to die.
But you can. I mean, there are cases where you can. I mean, I think the best thing to do is go to your church and talk to the pastor and try and get into the process. If you'll know off the bat, I mean, they'll tell you straight out if
whether you got a case or not.
Whether the conditions,
or not. They're always interesting, and I've got a couple of. I don't want to say I've got an interest in it personally for somebody, but one of these days, no, people are going to take that the wrong way. Let me answer it. Let me answer it the correct way. So I was married in the church, and it didn't work out. Right. She's remarried, and I think she would like to get married in the church. Right. And so what I'd like to do is take a couple of steps towards annulment so that she can, in this new life with this new guy and this family, enjoy the sacrament once again. And so it's one of the things that's been looming in my head for years. I just haven't gotten around to it. And the nearest thing I can do to make it easier for everybody is just die, because that's what it says, till death do you part. And after I die, then you can go get married in the church again.
Right. But there are, I mean, you never know. I mean, you have to go and ask, right? So, I would suggest going down any priest.
Too much work already. It's too much work already. You got to give me the cliff notes, man. The idiot's guide to an annulment.
Yeah, but they'll put you on the process. I think you just have to explain the situation. They'll know right away whether you fit or not.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's a whole kind of legalese, church legalese behind all of this
and
stuff.
Even then,
the fun Latin words that you're going to have to look up. Jim, it's always fun talking with you. Now, you didn't run for senator this time. Let me just switch the gears completely over. The election came and went, and it would have been nice to have a Turbio and another Republican in the legislature.
I hear you.
Yeah. So what happened?
I leave it to God. The time wasn't right. So,
helped Chris.
Yeah.
With some of the other members of the Republican Party.
I mean, I was there, behind the scenes too, trying to get the Republican majority. So I felt it was better. I was better served doing that.
Do you? I mean, here it is. We've got some daylight between Election Day and the counting of the ballots and things like that. And hindsight being 2020, what would you have done differently? Not necessarily, for. And I'll pick out a particular race in particular, and that is the gubernatorial race. Right. Felix and Tony, a couple of the most likable guys on Guam. Tony added now, who says, "You haven't seen the last of me." But is there more that could have been done, I think, by way of getting that team out there a little bit more, I wanted to say that I never felt like they hit their peak in terms of momentum and excitement.
Really?
Yeah, well, that was me. I don't know.
And that's not.
And I'm not super deep in party, activity. So
I think it's on any like a bunch of things, right? But I think for us, it's more of I think we need to start early. The election starts when.
Oh, it started now. The
2024
is already underway.
But the actual voting, it's interesting about Republicans, right? Like we're very traditional, so majority of us like to vote on election day. Yeah. But now we have election before election day.
Election weeks.
So we really have to concentrate really at that point more. I think we kind of not failed, but I think we kind of didn't really think about that.
What the impact was going to be of people being able to leave early.
Right. And it wasn't really because when you look at it, like we didn't gain any more voters, with this initiative.
Well, there is another great problem that is before both parties is the appalling numbers of people that will register or get registered and stay home, not take advantage of early voting, not take advantage of voting day, period.
We're fantastic at registering these people. They just don't come out and vote. And particularly on the Republican side, it's troubling because we're more likely to stay home for whatever reason. I'm not sure why.
Well, I mean, certainly didn't get any practice in the primary.
Yeah.
which was, I think, another one of the problems. I wonder if there had been more excitement if there was another team from the Republican side that would be challenging Felix and Tony, if for no other reason, just to whip things up into that partisan frenzy, the inside of the partisan frenzy. That didn't happen. If Felix and Tony didn't need to debate, they didn't need to do a whole lot of campaigning. Therefore, there was not a whole lot of that. And Lou and Josh, I got to hand it to them. They played a hell of a ground game.
Yeah, and then, isn't that the crazy thing, right? So we cooperate so much that we only put out one candidate. You know what I mean?
There could have been that much more excitement. And as a result of that, in the primary election where there would have been good practice for Republicans to go out there and beat the electorate, everybody stayed home. I can't tell you the number of people that Republican friends of mine that said, yeah, I went out and voted. No, I didn't vote. Or yeah, I went out and voted for weak Democrats.
Great.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. And so we got to work on that. No, I mean, that's really the thing. If we come out to vote, if we had, it's traditionally if we have large voter turnout, we win.
Is there an identity crisis in the Republican Party?
And that's something we know we need to work on. I think people.
What's our message?
They don't know what a Republican is. Sometimes I talk to people; they don't even realize they have Republican values until we tell them.
So you're on our side. How much faith do you put in personal responsibility? Equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me to do
strong
everything.
Confederate. Strong conservative values, that kind of thing.
And less government.
As a pro-life, okay, I'm down. Yeah,
exactly.
Where do I sign up?
And those are the things we need to work on, and we are. Like you said, we have some breathing room, but we're not really breathing. We've met right after we're establishing. All you mentioned the ground game.
Yeah.
Again, we were weak coming off of not having the administration. Right? She had.
The administration, she's got the administration. She's got all of the federal money that and I'm sure that there might be some people going, yeah, I see what you did with the all-in and all of your what should have been just ads for the programs. We're all in for everybody. I thought clever headlines, girl.
Yeah. But here's the encouraging part. She had the battle in a primary. She didn't exactly walk through that. And then in this election too, she didn't exactly walk through that one either.
I wonder if the voter turnout. I mean, you think about the numbers. I wonder how many times Mike Nicholas and Bree have sat back and said, if we had seen a larger voter turnout, period, and if the Republicans had come and supported us in this race.
Well, see, that's the slope that you kind of have to stay away from because
I didn't stay away from it.
I know, but
my broadcast every day.
No, I've always been. If you're a Republican, you vote on a Republican side. I don't want to touch the Democrat primary. Let them decide that.
Okay, you're the first guy I've ever heard that from.
That's me because I understand. No, don't get me wrong. I understand the strategy.
Yeah,
but I'm like, no, let them.
A lot more Republicans going out and voting for Mike Nicholas. It would be a different day today, and it would not have been anathema to the Republican mentality because Mike Nicholas identifies as a fiscal conservative, always has.
Yeah, and then the perfect scenario for me, when I was thinking about it, was, hey, if he makes it through, we're gonna have the most straight up election that you'll ever have where everybody's just concentrating on what they're going to do as opposed to,
and it would the crazy fun that we would have had. Well, I mean, as you pointed out, the election for 2024 and the Republican majority at the legislature has already started. And then we look another 2 years after that, and I know that they're just now planning inauguration activities over at the administration, but there are people in the Republican Party that have got their eyes on a deeper calendar line between here and there. So okay, you got the job again for another 4 years. Now is the time to do all of the things for whatever reason that you couldn't do. I'm fond of saying that the coming out of the last gubernatorial election, not this one, the one before, you've got a Democrat woman governor, you've got a legislature that is run by Democrat women. Even the courthouse at the time had a left-leaning judge there. I said this should be the most productive time for Guam in the history of the island since the recovery after the Second World War. It should have been that great with everybody and all of the mutual interests. And then I don't know, nothing happened for a long time.
I absolutely agree, and that's why I'm kind of like, you have everything.
Yes.
What did we accomplish within that time? And I'll tell you,
where'd the money go?
I was in that legislature, right? at the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was, super majority at the time. And I'll just tell you, it's the most miserable time I've had in politics. But at the same time, I kept thinking, wow, you can do so much because there's no barriers.
Shouldn't be other than egos,
sure,
and attitudes. There's a phrase from a long time ago I learned. This is, what's your goal? It's, my goal is to understand women. And he asked me the same question in another 5 years. I said, no, I got a different goal now. I got it. Women understand women, and they don't like each other. And so this comes with one of those things where a lot more of what I think was a lot of political baggage that it theretofore had been kind of invisible in the process. All of a sudden, it became which table are we sitting at the Academy lunch? Do we sit at the square tables or do we sit at the round tables? Because that used to be how the cliques there were defined.
Well, I didn't exactly see that in that. I think it had potential to do very well.
Of course.
I think the fact that there were more ladies than men in that particular, they had really nothing to do with it. It's more of they just wasn't much coming out, and I think maybe
never gelled.
Yeah, and there's just nothing really. Well, there was something that came out of it, but not.
I don't know. We've got a different minority boss. At 9:33 in the morning, Jim, it's always a delight seeing you.
Thank
We
you
don't
for
get a
having
chance to do this very often. Again, February the 11th, there is going to be a get-together, and there's a marriage. What is it called? The marriage, the name of the event?
It's called In Love and in Christ.
Good thing we have a name for it. Okay, so that's going to be coming up at the Nico, February 11th. Call the Archdiocese, the Chancery office.
Yes, you can get your tickets at the Chancery office, or you can go on the Eventbrite. You can search for Marriage Ministry Guam.
Okay.
Or on Facebook, and all the links are there. You can find us. There's a QR code and everything.
If you lose the link on the information, find me. We've got plenty of time to do it.
And it's only $25 a ticket. It's subsidized 50% by a grant.
Oh,
and so it's actually $50, but. So you get a $50 value, dinner out of it,
And if you can't go or you don't feel it's right for you, but would like other couples to take advantage of it,
yeah, by all means. If you want to celebrate the institution of marriage, please.
Everybody got a favorite aunt. Everybody got a favorite uncle. Everybody's got a favorite couple that they can play around with. Listen, always fun talking with you, Jim. I'm going to break away and do some, I was going to say headlines, but no headlines this hour, just commercials, and then resume the conversation. Kill another half hour. Talk radio next.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instaguam to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
All three stations, all three morning shows. Thanks to all the listeners for Pika's Best. Choice Broadcasting has swept the top three best radio stations. The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101. Top three radio personalities, Kyle Mandapat, Ray Gibson, and Daryl Lizava. Put the power of Pika's Best to work for you. If you're an advertiser, call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages. And let us get your message out to Pika's Best listeners with Pika's Best Broadcasters. And thanks for listening to Pika's Best. Studio time, 9:36. Hi, the Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be anymore. And earlier I was talking about a couple of great gifts that have come to us, it's Christmas time. And while you might not find them under the tree, I think you will find them provocative. The gifts from Santa Lou and the 15 elves over at the legislature. Gift number one, you heard about this from Candid the other day. It is the $500 credit for our power bills is now law. It's going to happen. And thank you very much for giving us our money back. Another version of that is the taxes and fees on gasoline and liquid fuels has been extended as well. And that is another gift from Santa Lou and the 15 elves, to which the government and members of the government of Hawaii might say, Nice try, amateurs. Let me tell you what the new governor of Hawaii is doing. The new governor has given out another early holiday gift. 2 days of extra paid time off to state employees.
Oh, to the state employees.
To the state employees.
Alrighty,
Governor Josh Green, 4 days after taking office, announced in an internal executive memorandum to department heads and in an email to staff that all full-time salaried state employees will receive 16 hours of special administrative leave. Not regular administrative leave, special administrative leave. Many workers will have 4-day weekends surrounding Christmas and New Year's by receiving Friday, December 23rd, and Friday, December 30th off, as their absence won't disrupt necessary government functions. Well, if their absence ain't going to make any difference, I'd say maybe they weren't needed at all. Employees who are needed or already have paid time off on those days will be given an alternate 2 days off that they can pick between now and February the 2nd.
Oh, the choices, Ray.
So the governor of Hawaii, you've got Christmas Eve, Saturday, not working. Sunday's Christmas Day, Sunday, not working. Monday is the observed holiday, so they get that off. But the governor is now giving them the Friday off as well. Somewhere in Adelup, somebody's listening and taking very, very careful notes of what's coming out of my mouth here today, going, if they can do it in Hawaii, maybe we can do it here. Maybe we should do it here. Who's going to complain? Huh? Was it Ray Gibson, Bob Kalitsky, Lee Weber? Who else? Ken Leon Guerrero? Who, literally, who's going to complain about this?
Complainers?
Well, this is the usual bunch of noisemakers.
The naughty list.
Will complain about it, but at the end of the day, we will have 13,000 very, very happy government of Guam employees who are going to be able to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off with pay. We're just so new at this. I wish we'd had the experience that God gave elected governance in Hawaii. But I guess we're just going to have to deal with just the 3 days off here and the Monday holiday, et cetera, et cetera. I just thought I'd share that with you because I thought every once in a while I think we've got GovGuam employee butt kissing down to a science. But there's always somebody out there that we can learn from. I need audio on this, Real Joke, if you don't mind. This was moving around the family chat, and apparently there's some practice going on for the Lisadzus that are going to be taking place, the Novena Lisadzus that we've got in front of us between now and Christmas. I'm not going to say this is my brother practicing, but there's a very good chance this is my brother practicing. Do I have audio? Is it going to play?
I've got audio up here, but it's not playing there.
Oh, you can hear it?
No, I have the audio.
Now I guess it's not playing. Oh, crap. All right, well, never mind. I'll find another way to play the thing. It's funny as hell to me, and no doubt my big sister's laughing out loud already because she knows what it sounds like. 9:41. Sorry about that. Since I didn't get that up on the screen, maybe I'll put this up on the screen because this, in my mind, is the funniest story coming out of Hawaii today. And that is, Army is investigating gay bondage pics taken on a base in Hawaii. Says here, the photos, which have appeared on social media, show male soldiers in uniform or parts of uniform wearing dog masks, leather, and chains. Some of the photos depict poses of submission and sexual acts. Other photos show a soldier in combat fatigues wearing the dog mask on an airfield. And they've appeared on Twitter on Friday. The soldiers are all based in Hawaii. Internal Pentagon email traffic obtained by USA Today shows Army officials believed some of the photos appear to have been taken at a base gym in Hawaii. The source of the email was not authorized to release it. Email notes that reactions to the photos have been hyper-politicized. Well, it's Twitter days, man. Imagine. U.S. Army Pacific is aware of the content found on social media reflecting soldiers' activities while wearing uniforms, says Major Jonathan Lewis. The incident is currently under investigation. And I'm kind of confused about something. It says the Army is investigating gay bondage pictures taken on a Hawaii base. Now, I haven't seen all of them, but the ones that I've got up on the screen I don't know why is everything gay.
I don't know.
It's
a little zesty.
It's kind of a dog mask there. I'm sure that between you and James Howard, you've got all the different kinds of dogs represented.
On all things gay, so we should ask James Howard.
So is there a Doberman version or is a bulldog version? Do we have like a Shih Tzu dog mask that we can be wearing? I'm just saying.
Cool, right?
I'm just saying. There's nothing there in these pictures that is screaming gay. Okay, not screaming, but not screaming. It's not flaming. But I'm just saying, these might be straight guys.
Why did they black out the crotches, Ray? There's nothing going on there. That's just a uniform pants.
The investigations, Joe. The investigations are ongoing. What can I say? 888-825-5888-TALK. What's that? I didn't know. This is a great piece of information. All right, so I told you I was going back to the gym in 2023, right? I told you I picked up one of those
we heard about
40% off deals.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm getting the gym bag going. It's got the dog mask and the shoes.
Man. Protein shakes.
Everybody gave me information. No, you know what I want to try? What's that pre-workout stuff that everybody? We didn't have this when I was younger. What's it?
Is it Bucked Up?
I don't know what it is.
No.
That's a fun name for it. But apparently the deal now is before you go gym is that you take something and you put it in your, I don't know. It's like
That's
an
gonna
upper.
give you the kick, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But what about, is there a crash afterwards? Because they say that you do it and then you jam on your workout and then you're done.
Oh, there's no crash. Right?
But
it'll take you until the next day.
Like super tired.
You won't sleep, Ray.
What's the other name for it? Meth? Is that what we were talking about?
Possibly.
944. We were talking about gay bondage pictures coming out of a base in Hawaii somewhere. And with details, here is Peter Santos. Buenas noches. How you doing there, Pedro?
Buenas, Ray. Hey, you cannot think of that when the Army does an investigation. You cannot think of it in a civilian mindset. The military likes to keep a really good image. So anything that is, and here's the buzzword, service discrediting. They will investigate. I could tell you a couple of real doozies that I had to, or I came across in my research when I was doing some cases in the military. Some legal research. I found out that there was a group of guys at the Air Force Academy that got busted for running porn server out of the Air Force's equipment, and some of them were creating the porn.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so that's very service discrediting. Also, one I think that was the most service discrediting was, the Washington Mall.
Yes.
So they have these little alcoves off to the sides, right? Have you ever been there?
I have been there. I don't recall seeing a whole lot of these alcoves you refer to, but don't let that stop you.
Yeah, so there was an Army major in dress uniform that was in the center of a bukkake circle there at the mall.
I don't know that word's ever been used on this radio station ever in the history of broadcasting. Rather not hear it again, but I think there are people that are getting a visual going on and wondering, what, maybe I should have joined the military. It sounds like a whole lot more fun than I originally thought it was going to be when I was 17.
Well, some people just want to get out of the military, so they try to get out. They go out with a bang.
I hear what you're saying. 946, let me just switch gears. Not rapidly. I kind of want to hold my breath on this for just a little bit longer because it's a fun convo. But there are different... The legal burdens are different in military courts than they are in regular civilian courts, correct?
Well, it's the same. It depends on what... whether it's an administrative proceeding or if it's a criminal proceeding.
Okay.
So it's still proved beyond a reasonable doubt when you're talking criminal. And then they have administrative or adverse action, which is equivalent to our Civil Service Commission, right? And that is a preponderance of the evidence.
A preponderance. Okay, now this is the part where I got to go back to law school, or at least, how they prep me for jury duty. So you've got the reasonable suspicion...
Mm-hmm.
Probable
probable cause, preponderance of the evidence.
Preponderance, okay. And those are different definitions, different standards.
Yeah, they try to quantify it. Like reasonable suspicion would be like 25%. Probable cause would be like a little bit over 50%. Preponderance of the evidence would be like around 75%. And then proof beyond reasonable doubt is 95 plus. And that's, you cannot really attribute those percentages to, but that's just to give you sort of an idea in order to picture it in your mind what the different burdens, the different levels of burdens are.
Right. Now, there's a Tom Cruise movie. You might be able to watch it. Jack Nicholson's in it, and maybe some of that can be explained a little bit better, and maybe even illustrated a little bit better. Hollywood does a great job with that. 9:48 in the morning. Peter Santos on the line. I wanted to read one of the magistrate reports that I've got 4 in front of me. 2 are amusing, and one is just downright annoying. It's the one with Tom Inson Nikot. That's not going to be your defend on, is it?
The name sounds familiar. I think I actually prosecuted him.
Needed to get a bigger sentence or a different somebody to handle it differently, because this guy has apparently already got himself in trouble with the law, known commodity, and a baseball bat incident up in Gigo last weekend. So the prosecution might have been all right, but when it came down to sentencing, it apparently didn't stick. He didn't learn his lesson. So I wanted to talk about this, and I suppose there are some people that would say, based on what the last name sounds like, I'm wondering if this guy might be a candidate for deportation. I don't know that you and I have ever talked about your thoughts on deportation. There are 2 schools. One of them is get them the hell out of here and make it so they can't come back, and then there are others in the prosecution business that say, no, the guy committed a crime on Guam. He needs to serve out his sentence here on Guam, do your time, and then you can leave.
Yeah, the AG and the governor need to stay in their own lanes. So the AG just needs to prosecute him and get the maximum sentence. It's actually illegal for, like what Doug said, he was going to build in deportation into the plea agreements. So immigration status can never be part of negotiations. That's a constitutional violation. So anyways, he's just got to, the prosecution's just got to prosecute and try to get it as harsh a sentence as possible. And then once they're sentenced, that's when the governor now can come in and say, hey, look, we want to get you out of here. You're taking up too much resources. I'm going to commute your sentence and have ICE. And then the federal comes in, right?
Correct.
Have ICE deport you.
But they have not done that in 4 years. And Peter, I think that there are numerous candidates for that deportation program. I think it's a humane thing to do, and I think it's best for everyone's safety to take people for whatever reason could not find their way in the world here on Guam and should probably be sent back to where they come from and remain there.
Absolutely. I got a couple more points. With these guys that are born after 1995, doesn't necessarily mean that they're U.S. citizens.
Correct.
There are still people coming over, within the last 1 year that are not U.S. citizens that come over here, and so they're still capable of being or eligible to be deported. The other thing is that in the COFA, right,
the current version of COFA that we have. Hello, you there? He's gathering his thoughts. It could be a while.
No, are you? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you back. I got you back. Okay, so citizens of COFA, the current version of COFA, seems to me that there is their specific language that says they cannot be wards of the state. They cannot be burdens of the community that they reside in, and there are provisions in the COFA to be able to send them home.
Right. Well, those are aspirational clauses, meaning that's the spirit of COFA. But there has never been a single person that has been sent home under that clause. It's always been because they violated some crime or they committed some crime. So the fact that someone's just loafing around, that's never been a basis for anyone to be deported.
Well,
That's
you're
just very
you're awarded the state if,
language.
yeah, but you're awarded the state if so let's take it literally though. I appreciate the aspirational aspect, but why can we not take it literally? If somebody is living at the Department of Corrections, receiving meals and care at that facility, then they are wards of the state and should be considered for deportation.
Committed crimes. I'm talking about like the guys that are just hanging out at the beach and stuff like that. Not going to school, not working. Those guys have never been deported, and whether it's from here or in the States, in Hawaii, those types of guys who haven't committed crimes but are just not productive and not living up to the spirit of COFA. Those guys have never been. There has not been one single deportation under that part of the COFA clause.
One other thought here, while we're just throwing balls at each other here. What about birthright citizenship? Is that revocable if you've got somebody that was originally came from one of the COFA places, family moved to Guam, they were born here, but they have found themselves to be burdens in the community? Is there an option to remove a U.S. citizenship from this individual based on their actions?
Oh no! If someone was born here and they got to,
and there it is. I don't know. Call your service provider and see if there's something they can do with it. What's that?
He didn't pay the bill.
He said the B word on the radio.
He
said I'm looking at the thing. Here comes Tattoo Shauna. I just popped back in and heard the B word. I can't stop laughing. What did I miss? Okay, what you missed now is Peter Santos called because he wanted to dazzle and amaze us with stories of, what did he call it? Something in the uniform, misrepresenting. I can't remember what it is. But, looking bad in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, Marine uniform, and that's not good. You're not supposed to do that. And there was apparently some kind of activity that took place on the mall in Washington, D.C., where someone was on the receiving end of the B word, and that's all I'm going to say about that because it is kind of creepy. Is he back?
No, that's Jack.
Oh, Jack's back. Don't say the B word, Jack.
No, I just wanted to ask Peter Santos if he remembered a couple of years, well, actually a decade or so ago, there was a person that wanted to be served his time in the Seychelles, in the islands of the Seychelles. There's a crime here, and he wanted to serve his time in the islands of the Seychelles.
Okay.
And I remember there was I don't know if it was that case or another case, there were victims involved. So this thing about deportation, would the victims first be consulted before the action of deportation? Because that's an important factor there. Because if someone committed a crime on your family or to you or something like that, or to your property, you would expect some sort of
compensation, remuneration, sure.
Yeah. But that's the main thing. I mean, most of the crimes that are committed by these people are not victimless crimes. There's a victim involved. So would the victims be consulted? Would there be a victim advocacy?
Well, in the case of this guy, Tommy-san Nikot, where he was apparently there was a car ran off the road. Husband goes out, takes a look, and they're all trying to get the car back on the road. He told his wife to call the police. And she yells, "Some guy's here trying to break into the house." He reported that the defendant was one of the men in the red sedan. The defendant had his wife trapped on the balcony and was holding a baseball bat and threatening her with it. Alex described that he opened the storm door, so the door was between the defendant and Roseanne. Quick thinking. Alex reported he asked the defendant to leave, telling him he was trespassing. He said the defendant continued to approach them with the baseball bat, saying he was going to kill them. Alex reported that he told Roseanne to run, and the defendant swung the bat at his head. He said he missed, and he chased the defendant down the stairs. Alex reported that he then went looking for his wife. He could not find her. Cops finally found her. She fled the area with the kids out of fear, leaving the apartment open. So you've got, home invasion, terrorizing, and this is somebody that's already been through the system. And I'm going, you know what? We got a couple of strikes on you already, Tom Nissan, and it is time for you to go back where you came from and bother people with bats there.
Yeah, but I still think he still needs due process. And
absolutely, due process, like he had due process before. But let him know that if you are found guilty on any of these charges, then we're going to have a conversation with somebody from the governor's office, and maybe this time they'll get rid of the guy.
And it's still the people of Guam, so he did the crime against the people of Guam. The problem I have is if these deportation procedures go through, is there a reciprocity? I mean, are they going to be serving time in jail? Are they going to be fishing on the shore? I mean, these are important questions. Like I said, I remember decades ago about the seashell incidents, and back then they didn't even have a jail. So, these are important questions. I don't think that the solution in hand is the Moylan bill.
Well, the simplest solution in my estimation is the best solution. We'll get this wrapped around our axles. Almost said another word. We'll wrap this around the ankles for 100 years and never get to the root solution. And the root solution is you were here as a guest of the island, as a guest of the United States. You blew your chance. Go home. 9:58. I got to run. I'll see you soon.
All right. Do it to residents too of Guam.
Yes, agree. There should be a penal colony. One of them. I'll pay Saipan. I'll pay the CNMI. Give me one of those little tiny islands that we got up there, and we'll send people up with a couple of gallons of water and a Swiss Army knife. And this is it. You rebuild civilization in your name, or you use it to kill each other. I don't care. But you are not on Guam anymore. And unlike the Chinese and the CNMI, probably aren't going to be able to find a way back. Did you see that? Did you see it in a newspaper? And I got to take. I'm actually kind of offended by the language that they used. They're referring to the guy in the newspaper in the story as a Chinese boater.
Oh, nice.
You misspelled spy is the problem, or you misspelled illegal alien. Isn't that a boater from China? They make it sound like it was on a day trip, on a USS Minnow, and lost our way. And man, I'm sorry, I found my way over to the Gun Beach with a whole bunch of other people. And as soon as we hit the beach, everybody scattered, went looking for a hotel, went looking for a job. Sorry about that. They're not Chinese boaters. This is not an excursion that somebody picked up on. This is not shut up and fish. What's the matter with these people? So Mr. Healy was writing in the Guam Daily Post, stop taking the words that they're giving you. I'll give you two more. Illegal alien. There we go. Work with that one and rewrite the story and come back to me when it's done. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. The radio station's KUSG. Got you. They said we're Pika's best. This is The Point, Fox News.
A Supreme Court order on Title 42. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News, at least temporarily preventing the COVID-19 health restrictions at the border from ending on Wednesday.
Chief Justice John Roberts placing a temporary hold on a lower court ruling to let Title 42 expire this week. 19 Republican-led states filing an emergency appeal after a federal judge ordered the Biden administration to roll the policy back at midnight Wednesday, arguing doing so would cause a crisis of unprecedented proportions at the